Alright, we're live.
Ooh, we're live.
So, welcome anyone watching. This is going to be a VOD, actually, so it's not on Twitch. I wanted to play Slice and Dice on hard mode and kind of explain my thoughts thoroughly because somebody asked on the Slice and Dice server, and it's been a while since I've recorded any content. I don't really want to do it on Twitch because I don't really want to read Twitch chat, basically, and also because I think the game doesn't have much popularity there yet. So I figured it makes sense to do it locally with my girlfriend here.
Hello, hello.
Yeah. They, them, by the way. For them. Alright. I figured I'd say that because I said girlfriend. Alright. So, yeah, let's do this. So right now I'm on a win streak too of 5. So there are actual stakes as well in this Overexplained, I guess. So choose a curse, I guess, right? Oh, we got Wolf Boar. There was more fights added to floor 1, but we got the classic again.
Oh dear.
Yeah. But the like easiest curse that you can get here, like, cause like this is the very first choice, right? And the only thing you know about this run that is different from like other runs potentially is the first combat. But the first combat is designed to be completed by the starting characters, so basically the curse you take here should be a curse that is gonna give you the highest win rate in your perspective, you know, throughout the run, you know. So expensive spells kind of damages flexibility, fewer rolls damages flexibility, top monsters makes it hard to like get good, like what's the word I'm looking for? Dividends?
Oh, that works too.
Benchmarks? I don't know. It's like it definitely makes it harder to like have survivability and stuff.
Yes. You end up just killing enemies slower, and killing enemies is one of the best ways to mitigate damage in this game.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So start damage is, you know, sort of the leftover one. Starting with 1 to 2 or even 3 less health or whatever, it's fine. It makes some things bad though, like engaged sides become a lot worse. So it doesn't.
At least.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna not think this fight. I'm gonna use this side because it's the only 2 pip that actually like works this turn, basically. For the Acolyte. So yeah, I tend to do that, especially early game. I try to look at values that are like just integer value, like which one's the highest that I can actually use. So even though the heart, like the 3 health pip does technically have like 1 pip of value right now, I'm always going to go for the 2 max HP pip. Anyway, I won't explain that idea over and over again, but that's just something that you're going to see me do. It's kind of be like, oh, this has 2 value instead of 3 value, or, you know, or whatever. Okay. So like, you know, mana you can use in like a lot of flexible ways, but right now I just see Adept as kind of just like 2 swords and like a partial sword, you know? So like 2 2-pip swords and like 2 1-pip swords I can't really use yet. That's kind of the way I look at Adept this early. Okay. Anyway. We have 2 rerolls, so usually I feel pretty safe about popping that. I want to make sure I can kill Wolf. And we don't quite get there with these things, so I definitely want to reroll this stuff.
The first fight getting several 2 damages is usually how you end up getting a turn 1 kill, which is fairly critical to getting through this fight flawlessly.
And you could like try to have Defender do 1 damage here, but I think it's better just to like have a safe defend, even though we already have like a max HP or something. And this turn we never have anyone die because of these 2 sides, but I still would rather have the block on Defender, I think, than try to kill Boar. Because the difference between these 2 enemies is mostly just that this one always does the flanking, which is bad, but I don't know. I don't think it's worth trying to stretch that. I haven't found it to be relevant in all my time playing. Okay, we have the exact same sides again. This could potentially blink. I could maybe do this and try to kill Wolf with a 2, but it's not amazing. Again, I always can, at the very least, save both of them. So this might be the correct play. I'm just thinking about
1 in 3 to hit, which is not a great chance, but
you progress the fight pretty well. I mean, you do like 4 damage, so I don't think it's terrible, but it's also like not amazing. And you could always get I mean, you could always get the two pips, like Thief could do a 2-pip and Warrior can do a 2-pip, and you achieve the same result, you know? But either way, Warrior kind of wants a 2-pip. So you always reroll that at the very least, I think. Like, you always reroll yellow here is what I mean. Gray is the contention. I think I'll reroll Gray, and yeah, and I'll keep Thief to reroll as well, because it could land on the same side again, which is also fine. The low roll is not that bad, because again, both of these are fine. Like, if you're worried about low rolls being a blank here, I think it's okay in this case. Okay, so we actually got not enough, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to hit 4 once, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, the chance of landing on a 2-side is just very good next turn, so...
And then you always float mana for next turn if you can, because, like, you can usually burst like how you would this turn to save health. You can usually burst the enemy like how you would do 2 damage. So usually you want to float mana like this. You know, unless... One of the reasons why you might want to burst the enemy this turn is if you kill them, because then you prevent damage that would come to you. So bursting that turn would be good, but I can't kill Wolf, so there's no reason to burst right now.
Effectively, if you can't cheat any value with spending the mana, for example, if we could kill the Wolf, it would be a 5 value because it blocks for 3 and it does 2 damage.
Yeah.
But in this case, we can't get more than the benchmark 2, so there's no reason to do it.
I'm just evaluating, like, if I were to just do exactly this, if it's good. And the answer is I think doing exactly this is completely fine, to be honest. But, like, healing sides are better. Like, the only side that would be way worse than this is probably the low max HP. Warrior basically always has a better side there as well. Thief, you can kind of play really safe there if you want. Adept, you can play really safe, but it doesn't do much because, again, we're just going to burst, not slice. We're not going to restore either. I think I'll just keep this Alkalite so that Alkalite can do damage instead of heal someone. I think that's fine. This fight's won, obviously, but I'm just being a bit pretentious about my choice of where to put stuff, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to pop all these on that one. And then probably restore, since it saves Defender and it heals everyone for 5 value, so 2 for 5 value is good. Even though it's kind of a weird way to distribute that value. Because, like, Adept is also going to be at 1 health, you know? So like, having Adept at 2 and then Defender at 1 is probably, like, slightly better or something? I don't know.
I still think that just 5 value is just so much over all of that.
Yeah. Anyway, I can actually reroll this now. Okay, that was the sort of bad outcome, but, you know, whatever. Because it's not, like, world-ending bad. It's just mana's more flexible and max HP is not. That's the main thing. Okay. This is fine. If you can reset a fight pretty much to where you started, you don't really have to worry. If you can push a slight advantage. Obviously, if you can never push advantage and you're just resetting the fight over and over, you know, you're gaining nothing. But in this case, I mean, I gained 2 mana, I used 2 mana to block, I used the block side from Defender to block. So it's like this turn never happened, Boar's doing nothing, and I gained health, you know?
And you did 2 damage.
Yeah, and I did 2 damage. So, I guess you could have probably said I could have done the hard on Adept, even though it was wasting value. I don't think it matters, though. Anyway, we win, hooray. Okay, so when you choose characters, there's a few things you probably want to think about, which is late game potential a little bit, and stuff like that. So I think, yeah, the way it works is that you can't see the same hero again after you see it the first time. So that's something I think about. And also, there's a limited pool of tier 2s you can actually discover. So like, there's like 5 blues that are tier 2, 5 reds that are tier 2, 6 oranges. And then there's like a couple more grays and yellows than those. So usually I focus on trying to get specific blues and reds, kinda, because there are certain enemies late game, like Slate, or like enemies that do poison, that I'm concerned about. Also zombies to some extent sometimes, but that's more like an items thing. Also range sides I like, because some of the hardest stuff late game is when you're not able to kill something in the front row, or like a Ka late game that you can't kill because you don't have like a 7 damage side, so you want to have use range to clean it up, you know? So anyway, you get to keep a tier 2 for a long time. Like one of your, like a couple of your tier 2s go late game. So that's something that sometimes is pretty relevant as well when you're choosing characters, if you don't want to like get rid of a particularly useful tier 2. Yeah. So I don't really love both of these. I feel like both of these kind of miss the point a little bit. Like Caldera, I think I'm just going to end up using him similarly to Adept for the most part. His spell is better, but in practice I don't see this used too often, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know. Caldera isn't usually what I'm looking for, I don't think.
Yeah, both of these are kind of, you want them with specific other heroes, so getting them offered in the first choice is rather awkward.
I think I'm going to take Caldera, though, because Spellblade in particular does have that problem. And I like the other like things that you can get as Thief, and because they solve the things I mentioned later in the game generically pretty well. They have range sides that are excellent, typically, and they deal with things that are like slates really well if you get the Trapper. And Sparky does deal with Slate as well, but you know, the other spells like Flick are really good that you can get for like mid game, which I'm pretty much concerned with mid game here, I think, with this blue hero. The orange hero, I'd say more often I carry late game, actually, because again, the range side tends to be good for a while. And you can kind of be picky with your orange character usually, I think, late game.
Yeah, and I generally feel like the blue tier 3s are more of a power spike than the orange tier 3s.
Exactly, yeah. So you tend to pick the blue tier 3 very quickly, because almost all of them are like very delightful when you see them. Mana in this game is good because it's flexible, and the spells you tend to get from tier 3s are like quite strong. Like, they're not necessarily flexible all the time, but they're usually doing a lot of damage output in like an efficient way, and often they can even serve the job of like a thief. Like, they have like ways to do like range, like Artificer ignores if they're in the front or back, and same with flanking and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna go at Caldera because I want to have a slightly better thief later that does different jobs than just like small amount of mana gain and like 2 damage side. The poison 1 damage dagger, like poison's kind of awkward mid game. I think it's good late game, but mid game it's like not really solving your problems very well, because you need to kill the enemy immediately to prevent it from doing damage to you, and poison is gonna deal damage after they hurt you. And that one fact basically makes poison really awkward mid game. There's only like a couple enemies I can even think of that it's particularly relevant against, like Troll, basically. So Spiker, you could make the argument for, but I actually think Spiker is not very effective at its job. If you kill the minions that aren't Spiker, you usually can outpace it and just like reset every turn. So yeah. That's my full explanation, I think, to why I would take Caldera there. Hopefully that's all fine and dandy. Also, I just realized I never checked your audio, Izu. Can you say something?
Hello, hello.
Oh, your audio is actually about right.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm very glad that's the case.
Would be awkward if it wasn't. Oh well.
Yeah, oh well. Okay, so again, 2-side. This is a 2-side. You could go for 3, but that just seems a bit lame. And I don't really like splitting it up with 1 mana, because again, the 1 mana in this case is sort of like a 1-pip sword that you can't use. In this case, unless I have Alkali, and then, yeah. Anyway. So I probably want this, maybe?
On Caldera, there is, of course, the argument that you do have a single side that does 3 damage and kills a rat, but since we're only looking at 3 out of 6 sides that are equal or better, that's kind of a good chance to low roll on the next 2 rolls.
Yeah.
So just sticking with a 2-side is pretty safe.
Yeah, I just like to be safe, especially early game, especially on a win streak. Yeah. Also late game. I like to be safe. So yeah, this kills this rat, and this Alkalite defends herself. So this turn is already solved. We're just going to try to have these 2 clean up another rat to save more health. That doesn't quite kill another rat. So we can roll both of those. Again, the blank doesn't really matter, because we're just trying to get the dividend where we actually kill one of them. Okay, we didn't get it. But now what I can do is I can do this and save mana. And I could heal, but there's no reason to. There's no reason to do anything. Okay, I could probably Scald with this Caldera now by hitting one of them. And then I could hit another one for it. This one's taking a bit of damage. I could protect with this max HP.
Yeah, in a situation like this where we're planning to maybe Skull, it's good to note which heroes are the one in the most risk after that. Like the Archer is attacking the Thief, and Archer is the one least likely to die, so you need to find a way to save Thief in that line.
Exactly, and we already have it here, I think. All we have to do is we have to... I could actually potentially whiff if I roll this into mana twice, because then I would not have enough mana to burst Thief. So I might actually keep this one max HP, even though it looks a little silly, with the defend, so that I block Thief and have him back at 1 health. And these 2 sides with Scald will kill these 2 rats, and then it would just be this rat doing 2 to Caldera, and again, the Thief back at 1 health. If I get a 2 damage side from here, what can I do differently? I can just kill the other rat as well. Sure.
Yeah, like any damage side works here.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna go with this. Okay.
And that should be a 1 fight.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is the new... Well, you know, it just came out, I think, like yesterday, this version of the game. So we're gonna get items from that version. In this meta, things aren't super great for tier 1s, I don't think. For the record, okay, I have a sheet that I would occasionally use for like items. I'm not gonna use them here because A, it's late, and B, it's not updated. So it's not updated for this current version of the game, and I actually had a lot of items undiscovered, so I'm going to need some help to populate that sheet. with like all the proper item name info and that kind of thing. So for now, I'm just gonna kind of do this based on, you know, the context that I have in the run, rather than trying to evaluate for every single possible relic I could get, you know? Which, spoiler, when you do that, normally it's good to just pick one of the items you're offered, unless the items you're offered truly don't do anything, or are just like actively bad, or yeah, they're just like kind of like really bad side grades where like you just kind of get the same sort of value out of what you're already doing, I guess. You're trying to look for at least like a slight push or something that can adjust what you're doing to fit combat needs that might come up ahead, right? So, in that in mind, we're not excited about random item here because Seedling can kind of replace what you're doing a lot of the time. So, for example, you might have a hero that has a hammer that only hits enemies that are like highest HP, and Seedling bypasses that. So you could actually have that enemy or your hero more often hit that enemy that has lower health with Seedling. Also, Seedling has minor synergy with some other relics in the game. Like it could be a 4 damage side, which is good for like zombies if you get the harvest item. And right now it's a buff for like Defender or like Acolyte because it lets them deal more damage than they normally do. So yeah, I would take Seedling here. And if you actually look at all the tier 1s in this version of the game, I actually think this is like one of the best generic ones for like late game that you can get. Like this one, the way it adjusts your hero is more powerful and more versatile than like the other ones. Coin is really awkward because the way I evaluate it is that it's like you have a 1/6 chance of having any side. You have no choice. That's bad. that's not good. The left side being improved is not exactly my reason to be excited about it, because normally you can retain a side that is improved, right? But here it's a 1/6 chance you'll even have it, and I don't know if there's a way to make it a better chance with that item. I can't think of an immediate.
There is slightly if you choose to end your rolls just because it's up and your other dice are acceptable, then you keep it over just rerolling it again and maybe hitting it. But in most cases, you do want to still have the chance to roll your other dice. But like there are narrow situations where it's better than 1 in 6, but they just don't have a huge impact on the value of the item.
Yeah. It is good with Sorcerer, as we were joking earlier, but that's a little late for my interest, and also inconsistent to rely on, I would say. Especially since you take tier 3's blue, as we talked about, pretty early, at least typically. Alright, I'm going to take Seedling. And the person I want to equip it on right now for Archer, Boar, or Wolf, which I'm going to switch items like every fight if it's, you know, relevant, which usually it is late game, especially. Defender could do like 1 damage, right? So my reasoning here sometimes is that Acolyte should have it. Except if I do that, Acolyte... no, that's not true. Acolyte could now do 2 damage, so Acolyte has 2 pip value on turn 1 for sure. And it doesn't even... like, it replaces the same side that had 2 pip value. So yeah, this is what I would do. This gives us the highest damage threshold possible, which is kind of fun. Yeah, I don't value the max HP that high either. Okay, 2 damage is better, in my humble view. So yeah, this Archer is going to be a pain in the ass, right? Because I don't have Slice or anything. So that's kind of what I was thinking about range sides too. But it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, we're on level 3. But, you know, it's something to think about. Anyway.
That's a dead wolf already?
Yeah, we like dead wolves, typically.
Ooh,
and killing wolf protects defender, so...
Oh, right, yeah.
We could also just kill boar if we wanted to, but then we have to protect defender somehow. which I don't really care very much. I just want to kill Wolf and then kill Boar. It's fine. I could block Defender if I really wanted to. Do I get any value from this side at all? No.
You cannot in this fight. You need at least 8 health on the board.
Yeah, I might examine this for a second. Because I could do this, but it feels awfully silly. I think I'm meant to do this instead. I guess the only issue with this is if the Boar flanks, that's kind of awkward. Because these are both at 2. Is the other outcome any better? Because let's see, if I do kill the Boar... Yeah, actually, I think this is way better.
Defender. Yeah, like exactly Defender is at risk, and that just requires a random hit onto Defender.
Yeah, I would say if they both hit Defender is when I'm scared, but any other time it's fine. So even though that looks kind of weird and we have a weird number, because usually you kind of like even number distribution on the enemy in this game, because normally you do kind of like an even number of damage. At least I find that I tend to.
Yeah, at least in earlier game, later on you end up having 3 as you tend to go for more, but in this stage of the game, having 2s is usually your high rolls.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take this probably. We kind of need to do 5, so having Caldera do 1 in mana is pretty efficient. Thief, if you could do 2 damage, that'd be great. I'm gonna keep the health for Defender. Okay. So this is perfect. Archer could theoretically kill Alkalite or Thief, but we would simply block and everything would be fine. Okay. So yeah, as that troll I mentioned, that the poison 1 pip side would be sort of nice against, but this is a minor encounter in the grand scheme of the game. Although I do think that the early game troll and the early game alpha are pretty scary fights in this game. Like, you can legitimately just lose to alpha early, or troll. But I think troll is more like you misplayed, and alpha can just be like, you just didn't roll well, or something. I would say that happens more often. With alpha, that you just get kind of boned. Anyway. Soldier's good. I kind of like the amount of health Soldier has. But, and this guy with, like, certain relics is quite good. Like, you could give him the ordinary triangle and he's just a zombie murderer. Stuff like that. Or, like, range sides you can give him. But, Cleric I enjoy a lot as a tier 2 gray because he has a cleanse side, and those are premium. He's not as good as Monk in terms of cleanse sides, admittedly, though. I quite like Monk usually. But the other thing Cleric does, too, is that he has a 4-pip, basically. This is a 4-pip right here. Heal 2 and shield 2.
It's also worth noting that that is very efficient compared to like a heal 4 or a shield 4. Because with a shield 4, you need 4 incoming damage, and with a heal 4, you require 4 missing health. But here you can mix and match those to get full value still.
Yeah, absolutely. That does make it quite a bit stronger as well. Also, the mana sides are a decent enough fallback, you know. The flexibility, even though it's 1 pip, is okay. So I don't usually mind hard rolling Cleric for a cleanse if I'm really looking for a cleanse. Troll does poison people, but honestly, you're better off just trying to kill him quickly, I think, than trying to cleanse him. In fact, if I just shield and heal every time you hit somebody with poison, I would feel better than trying to cleanse it, I think, unless they had like 2 instances of poison, maybe. Because we're actually going to talk about Troll here, because, you know, Troll might be a problem for this deck. I mean, Caldera doesn't exactly do super well in single target unless you get exactly cruel damage side. I mean, I guess Alkalite has the dagger. I guess the Alkalite having Seedling is, like, pretty good assurance. honestly. That's like the one thing here, I guess. Yeah. And Defender, I guess, normally wants to block for 2, so let's let him do that, huh?
Yeah. That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, so Alkalite has like a 2 side and 2 3 sides, so half of her sides are 2 or better. And then Defender has half the sides are 2 or better. So that's kind of the way I'm going to look at it. Although, again, we're getting Cleric, so yeah. Anyway, Cleric. I don't want to rely on like waiting for Monk. I don't want to rely on the other tier 2 Greys. I'm actually... This one's good too, but again, I don't want to rely on getting in. It doesn't scream to me in any particular way right now. None of these do right now in any particular way. Except for like Monk and Cleric just because of the cleanse, basically. And again, the 4 pip kind of value. So, alright. And I don't want to swap anything around, I've already explained. Okay. This is kind of a good roll right now. Question is, do I want to reroll Alkalite? Gives me 2 value on Caldera, but it's not 2 damage. And I could roll it again potentially. Getting mana is pretty good, honestly. Yeah, I think I just re-roll this for the Seedling. Okay, well the game is friendly. And I want to heal Alkalite because Alkalite has really low health and can get cleaved very easily. And this takes her to 4 health, which is cleave safe. Kind of like Cleric and Caldera. Warrior and Thief are kind of fucked. If I want to have good value, I could put on Caldera, but he's right at the edge, so he's not going to get hit by anything other than cleave pretty often. So I think Caldera is actually really safe. Like, Thief and Caldera are unlikely to get hit but often unless it's the foot attack. So I'm going to heal Alkalite. Yeah. Just get that distribution up. Because Warrior is closer to that sort of Goldilocks distribution, I guess I'll call it. So yeah, Warrior is only 2 down, so that's fine. I might just kill this guy this turn. I do 3 damage, and then I do 6 damage, and then use 1 off, and then I have Burst. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
No need to play the fight if you simply kill the enemy. Okay. Sapphire is pretty good tier 2. Again, it kind of goes into that philosophy I mentioned of like adaptability. So Bone Charm just gives you max HP, which is fine, but it's not very effective for a tier 2. The HP penalty when defeated thing is a cool idea, except for the fact that you can't really control who dies a lot of the time. And I don't have any reason to believe that that's true still. Like, I don't have, like, Monk, for instance. And even if so, I don't want Monk to die, you know, even if he's kind of taking the hit. Sapphire, yeah, the adaptability of the mana side's quite strong, and it often will go over things late game as well. Random item is silly. That's my evaluation of random. Mana is good to have on somebody who already doesn't generate mana, probably, for like flexibility. I don't want to override Cleric or Caldera, obviously. Alkalite sort of interesting because you don't typically want the one side and it replaces the 1 max HP. But she kind of already has a lot of things that are 2 value, I guess. So maybe just slightly improving Thief or Warriors kind of a thing.
In this encounter, just getting an extra burst is fairly strong because you have low health enemies.
So you're thinking Alkalite, maybe?
Yeah, just having an extra 2 damage side feels fairly valuable in this upcoming fight specifically.
That makes sense, yeah, because you just want to be able to hit one of the two damage swords that Alkalite has right now. So yeah, we'll do that. So now we have like 3 warriors, kind of, and then a Caldera. And Cleric is just here to protect the homies, I guess. I don't know. What do you want me to say? So yeah, here's our 4th warrior right here. If you're into that kind of thing. Warriors are kind of awkward against Rat, obviously. So I can protect Alkalite by killing this Rat, but then this Cleric I need to do something about. I might end up just doing a restore here. I'm gonna roll everybody. Okay. Well, right now, if things are dire, what do I do? I currently can't save both people if I roll all of these and get like the worst possible roll, probably. It would be 1 mana here. It would be blink and blink, so yeah, that's pretty shit.
I think carrying the cleanse shield here just for block is fairly good.
Yeah, you only lose 1 value from blocking, so this is completely fine to have 2 instead of 3 value. SA3 because you don't have anyone that has 2 health missing except Caldera, which we're not blocking. Okay, I'm gonna roll these now. Okay, I could just Scald for double burst kind of value. But, you know, obviously it's cheaper than double burst, which is why I was able to do it. Anyway, healing Cleric is safe. That is safe. Okay. I'm not really going to pay attention to who I'm killing here. I don't really care. Just heal this, block this, go. Cleric. Okay, so Ro kind of runs into the same thing I just mentioned earlier about poison side being 1 pip. Not very exciting in the context of mid-game, which is currently where we're at. And I don't think I'm getting like hard carried enough to like want Rogue, you know, late game against enemies. Also, it doesn't like late game hallways are the same as mid game hallways. When I say late game, I actually just kind of mean the boss of the game, like the final boss. I guess also like Slime Queen and like Troll King, maybe, but that's kind of a stretch, I guess. Tyrantus, but yeah, it's kind of a stretch. I don't know. Because the ads are kind of more important. Also, what?
One thing worth noting here is that Rogue does have a 2 damage range side, which we did say sometimes you have to care about how much range you have, but it's on a single side on the dice, so it isn't very reliable in any way.
Yeah, and I guess the cantrip daggers, they sometimes hit the archers in the back, which means Caldera can clean up, which is...
I'm not sure if cantrips can hit backliners.
Oh, they can. They can.
Oh.
They can also fuck up engage sites for you, which is funny.
Oh, yeah, that is fun.
So yeah, this choice is really awkward because Vampire is like one of my least picked reds. It might be my least picked red, yeah. The reds are all good. Like, all of them are good, but you know, obviously one of them's gonna end up being more relevant. And you can see my medic, because it's sorted from left is most picked to right is least picked, is actually how this works.
Oh, I did actually not know that.
Yeah, you learn that from the Thu, because this Jester is here and it's like 50 times chosen. I want to make a note, by the way, that the meta's changed a lot over time, and I used to think Caldera was insane. Same with Whirl, but, you know, the meta isn't the same as it used to be. So this isn't completely accurate, so don't like trust this opinion necessarily. Anyway.
We need to ask Tam to give us a reset button for this every patch.
That'd be kind of cool, actually.
Because having outdated picks is kind of questionable. Yeah, I'll suggest that right now. Keep going.
So yeah, medic is typically chosen for me because I like the cleave heal. I mean, based on what I've told you, that is a 6 pip side. A 6 pip side. That is redonkulous.
It's very efficient too, because as I talked with, the cleric shield does a good distribution where it just needs several slightly damaged characters.
Yeah, exactly.
Someone missing 6.
Even if it does like 4 or 5 value, it's insane. And then there's a cleanse side and a 2 mana side and a regen side, which is anywhere from like 1 to like 6 health, or however long the fight goes. So a regen side can really add up over time too, depending on the fight. Medic just kind of does so much. And her spell is crazy. It cheats value like you wouldn't believe it. So medic is just, I'm hesitant to say any particular character is just super effective, except for like some of the tier 3s and medic, probably. Because that's how good medic is at that. And then, yeah, the herbalist is good because the regens and the sapphire and the poison side's efficient. And the spell is marvelous, especially for just like efficiently making sure nobody dies and making sure you can just finish off enemies that have 1 health. It just kind of does damage control of like slight things that are off, and it kills Slate. It murders Slate. Priestess is great for just like, yeah, the spell I like, but it's hard to fund the spell because you have only 1 mana sides, basically. So that's kind of the main thing with Priestess is her spell is great when you're dying, but can you fund it? And also her 5 health, 5 pip here, or 4 pip, or whatever you want to call it, is pretty good, and the max HP, 3 pips, pretty good. How's her max HP compare? It's like the highest that you can have it. Like the other ones are all 7 except for the medic. Oh god, but yeah, you can see the issue with a 5 heal is that it doesn't get value that often. You have the sapphire and you have these kind of like 4 pips, but I don't know. This spell is expensive. It costs 3. It's kind of a huge problem. And it's not even that much more effective than just having the spell that you start the game with. Like, I actually like this spell over this spell right now because of how little mana I'm expected to gain every turn, even with Sapphire.
And you're also fairly likely to often have people only missing 1 health on it too.
I wonder if I meant to take Rogue here just for the other ones that have Cleanse.
Yeah. There is also some argument to make with Cantrip and Scorch from Caldera. That's kind of a silly combination.
Yeah, that's kind of the main argument. And you could always just like preserve that side if you absolutely desire to avoid Smoke Bomb, so make sure you can get the Caldera value, I guess. Yeah. It's like fine. You're not likely to hit the same enemy twice with the cantrips. If you land on it multiple times, it's pretty good. It's okay. I think I'm gonna take Rogue for that reason. I guess I can check Rogues really quick just to make sure I'm not like super bummed out. This is actually my least picked, yeah. Yeah, I like Ranger for range coverage. Gambler is kind of whatever, but you know.
Gambler does have that zombie value, but that's about it.
Again, this is kind of one of those things that was better in a different meta. There used to be more items that would like cover the top and bottom side you would get more frequently because of how it was like distributed. But now the items are like distributed in a way that it's like harder to actually achieve that. So Gambler is like harder to like fill the top and bottom side with, is what I'm trying to say. Or even the right side. Like you could get Short Sword practically half of your runs, but now you don't as often because it's a tier 2 instead of a tier 1. Stuff like that. So I think Gambler is going to fall off kind of hard for me over time. Dabbler, Dabbler is good because like all her sides are like 2 pips basically. Like every side is relevant, kind of. I don't really think much of Dabbler other than that. And her Sapphire is good because mana is flexible. 4 pip's kind of insane as well, I guess. Even if it is on heal. And again, but like that's the thing about Trapper, a Dabbler though. She doesn't have like range compensation. It's like you need somebody that does back damage, and Dabbler doesn't do that. Trapper, yeah, Trapper does the job with range damage in the same way that like Ranger does. I think Ranger and Trapper are kind of like what I look for these days, because they achieve the job that I'm kind of looking for with the range side, which I think the tier 2 range thieves are that's kind of like their main mission when I think of thief, is just like range and like generic damage kind of. But Dabbler definitely does something strong that's a little different. So I mean, don't feel captured by that sort of notion. So Rogue is like acceptable for range, so that's why we're taking Rogue.
I do feel like range has become a bit less accessible over the last few patches, mostly because you don't see longbow a lot.
No, you don't. You really don't. Mini crossbow is a fucking luxury when you see it. It's so goddamn good. Yeah, I'm actually really worried about taking Vampire or taking Rogue here. Both of these are kind of scary for different reasons. I'm just seeing, yeah, like that has 2 mana, 2/2 mana sides. Most of these only have 1 of those, but these are all quite more efficient. Yeah, and you're looking for that cleanse and a better spell. I'm really just looking hard. Like if I get this one even, I mean that's excellent with Caldera, I think.
Yeah.
Although you don't really have the mana to fund it super fast, but whatever.
Yeah. I think just the red high rolls are better than the orange high rolls here, so...
Yeah, that's fair as well. Also, we do have Sapphire, so if we happen to get Druid, I guess we'd have exactly 6 mana to do the epic combo for 3 damage on everyone if we wanted to. But, yeah, whatever. It's kind of unlikely for that to happen, but it could. Okay, so that's kind of what we were hoping for. It hit the front one, unfortunately, though, so... whatever. Anyway, let's roll shit, huh?
Worth noting is if Ogre takes 2 more damage, Acolyte is dying. But should be a problem with the cantrips.
Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, this is actually a very awkward setup because usually you like leaving the Ogre for last, but you have 2 backliners along with it.
Yep, this is why range sides are good. It's very awkward indeed. Maybe you're meant to just poison and just block this turn. I don't think I'm likely to kill.
I could believe it, yeah. Block. Maybe even restore.
Killing the archers is kind of good. And getting cantrip again is kind of good. I guess I'm going to roll this again, actually.
Yeah.
Because I want to kill an archer, basically. And if I don't get it, I'll either land on what I already had, or I'll just get the sword that, does 1 damage to somebody, which is fine. Because it doesn't proc Ogre, necessarily. Which I might not want to proc Ogre over, For that reason, do I just want to keep 1 shield? Feels awkward.
Yeah, I actually think you do, just because the alternative is activating Ogres in Rage. Which
another way
doesn't seem great this turn. Another
way to look at how we're progressing this fight is we're adding mana for like flexibility for next turn. Like we could Scald maybe in some way, especially if a cantrip side hits one of the archers next turn or this turn. So having mana just like left around to burst or whatever, and combined with what mana we get next turn, kind of improves our fight as well, in addition to like 2 damage to the sky or whatever. So even though we're just kind of blocking this turn, I don't see it as that bad of a thing we're doing. If I do attack Ogre, then I have to protect Warrior and Acolyte somehow, which I could actually just heal.
You don't have to protect Warrior. Ogre is cleaving the bottom.
Oh, I see. So just Acolyte. I could just actually restore or something, or just block. So maybe I'm meant to just kill it anyway. But if I'm killing it anyway, I'm still going to reroll Rogue. I think I'm going to just not keep the 1 side with the shield. It's fine if we're all at low health, I think. Because we're just going to kill Ogre fast, I think. I kind of changed my mind because I think that after we block successfully, everyone's going to be at lower health anyway.
It feels like warrior doing just 2 damage isn't the most efficient way to progress this fight, but like, how likely are we to actually take the ogre down exactly this turn?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Because I guess I was thinking that I was gonna protect, but yeah, it still doesn't make sense to do that unless I, because like if I get like 4 damage, I mean that's 5 damage, or sorry 6, and then we need 3. Yeah, there's no way. So we should still take this.
Like, I think if you're to commit to rolling warrior, you would then also keep the poison from rogue, just because then you're focusing on dealing damage to ogre.
And again, the mana could be used to just kill ogre next turn. Like we can just that we kind of have like 2 damage in the mail. In other words, so 2 damage in the mail is plus like 7 from next turn and whatever I have this turn left over, kind of. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, we hit the middle one again, which is fine.
Are you sure I can hit the backliners?
I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Could have sworn it did. If it doesn't, then I'm going to feel very silly. If I go to maybe keyword, it'll tell me. No, it probably doesn't. This doesn't have range, so... Targets chosen randomly. Like, I assume they don't violate the rules of the game.
Yeah.
In any case, I still wanted this one. It's kind of a weak argument to suggest the scout thing. I don't really like vampire at all. I still prefer this. So... if I did 1 damage, I mean, obviously I would take 3 more damage here, and then I'd have to protect Alkalite. Which is kind of bad. We're just gonna not attack with that. This heal is super awkward. Doesn't make sense to heal the left, so I think I'm actually gonna just like waste heal value here, kinda. It's kinda dumb, but yeah. Probably do something like that.
Yeah. Caldera's just not in any risk, really, so...
we want it on 3 is what we want. I believe. But we always get 3 if we do that, basically. So one of you should get healed. Alright, whatever, it's fine. So we have 2 damage left over, you're at 8, so we just need to do 6, and Archer gets to kill Alkalite, assuming nothing else happens.
Kind of awkward that it's self-blocking this turn, so we really want to hope to get a kill here. Which, I mean, we can have a lot of mana.
Yeah, we have 6 mana. I mean, right now we get to kill, and then we have no mana left over. I could just, like, restore twice if I really wanted to. So I'm not really worried about this turn, to tell you the truth. But the self-block is awkward. So let's try to roll damage that involves Rogue, basically. Okay, that is enough damage. So now we're gonna do the thing. And then we're gonna restore, and then we're quite happy.
Excellent.
I guess I was supposed to kill Archer instead of restore. Whatever. Sure, let's just go with that.
That's lethal.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing about this game. If you have lethal, you go for it every single time because there are no extra values to get from combats.
Yeah, I agree with that. No meta scaling is wonderful. This game really nailed that. Reinforced shield is like really bad in my opinion. Mostly because like generally because like you're not sure if you're gonna get the tier 3 that benefits from that, and most of the other heroes in the game basically don't have basic shield sides pretty fast. So like we can't even use this right now, right? No, unless we wanted to put it on warrior, so it's already like bad. Autumn Leaf also is kind of bad because it basically does nothing turn 1. And that's a huge problem. Again, it kind of does the thing where there's items that synergize with growth later, but right now there's nothing that synergizes with growth. It's just the pip gets better if you land on it and use it, basically, which I think is too slow, kind of.
Especially on the right, because usually it's kind of hard to justify taking the right sides. Unless you have an item that replaces it specifically.
Yeah, this is a good item. This tier 3. Add pain to the 2 left sides, 6 max HP. We're gonna want that on... Oh wow, it's kind of insane on Cleric, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of the same value as everything else, though.
Rogue is actually fairly nice, I think.
These enemies don't prefer any particular hero, so yeah, just put it on the person with the lowest health, maybe. Like, potentially Alkalite if I don't want Sapphire there. But I do want Sapphire there, so probably just Warrior.
I do think it's could be Rogue just because you aren't... I guess the 2 range side is just very strong in this combat, which is an argument to not put it there.
I think the main reason I'm doing this is because I just want it to be the person with the second lowest health. That's literally the only argument. Because these enemies just target random people. There's no cleave or anything. So minimizing the chance of warrior dying is good. I actually was even thinking it might be worth doing this. And just have this here or on Rogue. Actually on Rogue is really good, I think.
Yeah,
because Rogue only has 1 2-pip, and Acolyte has like 3 2-pips. Well, obviously more than 2-pip, but you know what I mean. So actually, it's Rogue that you put it on, and then you keep it on Acolyte because low health. That was kind of weird. Archer was still there in the middle of the screen. Okay. I kind of like hitting a rat for 1, maybe. Because, again, it's just like efficient damage distribution with the 2 sides. So I'm going to keep that on Caldera for sure. And I want to roll everything here except this. Okay. This kills an archer, which is good because they do 3 damage. And then we're killing a rat. Let's roll warrior because the 1 damage doesn't matter this turn. Okay. 2 damage also doesn't matter this turn, but it's better. Okay, so this is kind of overkill on protecting cleric perhaps, but we'll still do it for the value. We don't want to kill that rat. We want to kill the bottom rat specifically, I think.
You could argue for Acolyte just because it has pain.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Although, yeah.
Nah, I think this is probably the best call because
I think if you then have cleric coming in and healing the other characters, so
part of the reasoning for this for me too is that warrior, we just got an item, so I guess we're gonna upgrade warrior soon probably. But warrior is, I guess, somebody I don't mind if he's on lower health. I don't know, it's weird. I'm assuming if he dies, that it's less important than if Alkalite is at low health or Caldera is at low health the next fight. from dying this fight. I might have explained that kind of weird.
I just got an item, so I think the next floor is the boss, so Slam Queen or the witches.
That's a good point. Yeah, you don't want Pain on Acolyte, and you want Caldera to be healthy, so I think that makes the most sense to have him low. In the case that he dies. In both fights. Okay, that's good cantrip hit.
Yeah.
We could Scald for pretty efficient value. If we desired.
Does Acolyte keep that?
We're like
I guess
fine.
Acolyte goes even this turn just by killing the archer.
Yeah. Just gonna do that to protect the Acolyte again. I guess you can do it in a slightly better order.
Oh, right. That works, yeah.
Yeah. Kill the orange. Make everyone even. For fun. Yes, Herbalist is kind of more what I was thinking. But here's the thing. Here's the special thing about this game, is that you can actually force a specific tier 2 pretty hard, especially for reds right now. Because we just saw the previously one tier red, or tier 2 red, right? We saw the Vampire. And now we saw Herbalist. So now we get a choice of 2 between the remaining 3. Because there's only 5. Herbalist tends to be pretty up there for me. So what's the worst possible thing that could happen? I could have because again, I'm kind of assuming I want medic here still. It would be Puristus and Druid.
Yeah. The choice between one of the two is the worst case.
I think I would take Druid and be really happy.
Yeah, I can agree with that, so.
I like the range. I like it a lot, actually. I'm not too worried about Slate, I don't think. Herbalist would normally be like a Slate solution, but I'm kind of maybe more worried about range than Slate, specifically. And then for Slate, I guess I'm kind of boned. I don't know. We'll just, like, do it the old-fashioned way, I guess.
Collector does help a little bit, like it has cleaves and such.
But then if we get medic, we're just, like, constantly gonna cheat. So. And Collector is a pretty good tier 2 warrior. I tend to pick him pretty often, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really think much of the tier 2 warriors other than just like they better do like 3 or 4-ish damage. I don't know.
Yeah, they're just like a decently diverse bunch of things that deal damage, and you're usually happy with something that deals damage.
Oh, also he has a rogue supplement because he does 2 damage as well. Range and cleave range, kinda.
Yeah, there's actually a fairly strong argument for him here.
So yeah, he kind of covers some of the stuff that rogue is kind of making us miss out on, I think. Alright. Sapphire on rogue probably still. Acolyte is still the lowest health unit we have, so I want to give her the funny philanthropy. It is kind of funny that it grows with Acolyte, the side with the pain. But I still think it's correct to do this, like, very confidently. I guess Collector could actually get the sapling. Because, again, it's that hammer thing I talked about. The hammer would not let me attack a Slimelet.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those fights where being able to target the small things is rather important.
Although, my argument changes again, actually, because this guy can already do that pretty effectively, unlike 3 of his sides that are not hammer anyway.
Yeah, you've got the sword block, you've got the engage, you've got the range side, you've got the cleave, which is 3 damage.
We should let Acolyte stretch for 2 damage. kind of go outside her comfort zone and do that, you know?
Yeah.
Alright. Alkalite with sapling or seedling is pretty pog, as the kids would say. Alright. Maybe they wouldn't say that. I don't want to switch off this side. I really don't.
No.
Okay.
I
would like Alkalite to do so.
Attack.
Yeah, no one's attacking, which is very nice. Maybe I take this and just pop Slime Queen with it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll do that. I could decide to Scald if I wanted to. It's kind of a lame thing to do this turn, I think.
Yeah. I think if you plan to Scald, you would have rerolled Collector anyway for potentially a cleave or something.
Probably. I'm gonna heal Caldera because it gets him out of range of flanking from Slime Queen. Cleric is kind of in danger, but I can't heal him for 2, so I'd rather put the 2 value on Caldera. Because he's in danger of the typical cleave attack you can expect. And I want to use my burst to save the health on Cleric and keep him alive and stuff. Yeah. Okay, they're just never gonna do anything. Self-shielding right now would be very good, so I'm gonna try to roll for that. And the other sides are very similar in value to this, so... We rolled everything here. Okay.
Cleric has the good side, so... Hammer forces a split before next turn, which isn't great, but...
I think that every other side's really good right now, especially self-shield still, probably. That's not true, actually. Self-shield's pretty bad here, maybe.
Is it?
Yeah, because I still need a block. Nah, I guess it's good, honestly. Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, like you could just hit the Slammet and then Scald, and it's fairly nice.
I still want to get other sides in this. I don't want to Scald this turn, because these are doing nothing. So there's not really much incentive to.
It's just decent damage value, so I'm more thinking. I don't know, we'll see.
I could just float mana for next turn is all. Okay. So yeah, we're not going to attack Slime Queen. And we're not very incentivized to anyway. So I'll just attack probably this Slimelet.
Yeah.
We have like 6 mana, is that? Or 7 even. Is that good? We don't really achieve value, so it's like 6 damage basically, plus 8. Killing a Slime Queen immediately is almost not that good in my opinion, because you end up with 2 Slimers that kind of like... They basically do like 4 damage cleave, right? Together, which is really dangerous, I think. But
yeah, like
killing Slime Queen's kind of good too, because if you have just her around, it's like 5 damage cleave. So yeah, if I could just kill her and have Cleric not die that turn, that's good. Or the following turn, or like if I could kill her in one turn, that's good. If I like set her up to like spawn 2 and try to kill her the following turn, that's bad. Like I need to kill her this turn, is what I'm trying to say.
Also, generally, I do like the prospect of just getting Slime Queen down and then killing the first Slimer that appears immediately.
Yeah, so we could do it where we try to kill her right now and then have the 2, or we could try to do it like Azu suggested, where we get her down a bit and then kill the Slimer that the slime that immediately appears from this pip right here. Because 7 mana is not incredibly useful, I'm gonna get rid of this side and look for the Cleric heal or shield or whatever. And for Alkali, I might be meant to keep the mana. I'm not super sure. For like that extra burst, basically.
I'm thinking with 7 mana, there is the option to burst Slime Queen, shoot the summon with Collector, and then Scald for 3. Then you kill a Slime Net, you damage Slime Queen, and you damage the spawn.
So you said to hit Slime Queen, and then we summon the thing, and then we hit the thing with like burst, and then we're left with 4 mana. No, we're left with 5 mana, and then we Scald. Slimelet dies. Queen is down to.
That does mean that Poison takes the second tick, which is very awkward.
Yeah, that is awkward. Because that kind of defeats sort of the point of that, I guess. Unless we can kill Slime Queen right after that, which I don't think we can.
Yeah.
Then again, the poison might clean up pretty well, because then it's like... Because then it's like we just have to do 4 damage. I think it's okay. I think I'll still go for that.
We have to do 4 damage and also try to clean up one of the 2 Slimers, else they both just live through next turn.
If we can just block the middle person, it's like probably fine. You're right, it's kind of weird and sketchy, maybe. So, I don't know, I think the best line might still just be killing Slime Queen immediately.
Yeah, I think if the Scald line doesn't work that well, keeping the Cleric mana isn't as important after all.
I mean, I guess if we Scald and double burst, that's pretty good this turn. Because that's 6 damage, but it kills Slimelet as well. And then we have Collector. It's just Rogue has to hit the thing. Rogue has to hit a 2-side. Or hit the cantrip and land on Slime Queen.
Yeah.
Surely you would do that.
I believe.
Okay. I'm just good at the game. But the thing is, if we low rolled there, it would have been like the same shit. Yeah. Do this to save a bunch of health. So, yeah, that's what I was saying. So now we're gonna have a 4 cleave, which is slightly higher than the Slime Queens, but their health is lower. I'm not very worried. Okay.
These are not good dice.
Rogue could block for 3 if we wanted, but that doesn't seem very exciting. These are better. I want to roll this. Okay. We attacked this one, so I guess we're killing this one. I mean, I can't this turn, but... You know. I'm gonna hit the middle Slimelet, because I wanna... Actually, no, I'm gonna hit Slimer? So maybe I'm
I
gonna do
think having the
Slimelet
option for
the
Scald
skull.
is nice. Yeah.
I was thinking Slimer maybe, but I was like, nah, I'd rather kill Slimelet more often than Slimer next turn, I think. I'm gonna heal Cleric because of Cleave potentially being a problem. I think that both of them are unlikely to do flanking, and if one of them does flanking, then I can easily protect both, I think.
That's fair.
And yeah, they're more likely to double Cleave, that's why I'm worried about Cleric, maybe. Okay. Double Cleave. Thinking if I actually want the heal side for a second here, so I can kill the bottom Slimer, which saves Caldera, and then you could heal Cleric or Collector, but you could just kill the Slimelet with some stuff.
Yeah, if you kill the Slimelet and the bottom Slimer, a restore is enough to save you.
This is like still a roll, I think, for Rogue and Collector.
Yeah.
I'm not that worried. Like, this turn is still fine right now. Like, if I got 2 blanks or whatever, it would still be like everyone lives. And I would progress the fight. Wow, Rogue really doesn't want to play the game. There might be like a line where you summon the Slimelet and then kill it with Scald, probably.
I'm thinking you just kill this Slimer. You can't kill everything this turn with Scald, and then just have the 2 summons left over.
Because I was thinking maybe you do something like this. Oh, that's dumb. I don't know, I'm just checking some stuff, I guess. Nah, that's dumb. I don't think that's worth it. Like this?
Yeah, except you don't need the poison stab for the Slimer when you do that, so you could rather use that to proc one of the small Slimers instead. Oh, wait.
No, you're right.
Yeah. And then you get 2 Slimers next turn. That works perfectly well.
Which is a mega lol. We like healing somebody with 2 health.
That was lethal with Scald, but...
I didn't check very closely. Add Death Wish to the 2 right sides. It's an item that, in theory, sounds good, but I have not had much with yet. Maybe I just had bad opportunities for it. I think it's good on Collector, admittedly. It's a good late game. I could check items briefly, or heroes briefly, and see what it looks like. Maybe on the right side to have Death Wish that increase stuff, but it's double it, right?
Yeah. Engage Death Wish is kind of awkward though, because you're more likely to be Death Wished at the point where enemies are already damaged.
Yeah. Yeah, that is awkward. Good point. Good on Forsaken, I guess. Good on Witch. Yeah. It's good on Witch.
It's definitely an item that gets a lot stronger when you have one of the items that replaces your right side.
So basically it's good on like a few blues and a few reds. I think it has more relevancy than Lucky on average.
Yeah, it's definitely like when you have it, you can then pick heroes around the fact that you have Karn Zobal.
The one thing that Lucky does is it lets you kill zombies more often. Like it makes Collector a zombie killer. Kind of, yeah. And then it makes, I guess, whatever side had Caldera until I replace Caldera, which is soon. Is there like tier 3 heroes that benefit from that very often? A Collector or Curator does. Brawler doesn't, in my opinion. Yeah. Obviously, these already kill zombie. That would kill zombie. This would be good to have with Lucky. How many was that? Like 3? Okay, so it doesn't benefit you that often to kill zombies late game. Nope. Like 4-ish characters. But it's on a more spread out thing. I think having more mana gen sort of can replace the need for a 4 damage side, especially since it kind of messes up the middle side. Also, what?
Just was going to say, out of these, it feels like Karen's Obol is much more likely to build into.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, Lucky wasn't completely worthless, but it was probably not what you want. Yeah, this doesn't seem likely to pop off. Let's put on Caldera or Alkalite.
Yeah. I do like the poison double, but that's just kind of narrow for use case.
Yeah. This is a quartz, so we definitely want Alkalite to have a dagger here. And then if I don't give her this, she's in high risk of dying to Spiker. So, and in general. So, Caldera, I guess.
I can agree with that.
Caldera doesn't die often. Because, you know, the cleaves, basically. I mean, he dies sometimes. But I think Collector dies significantly more often, maybe, is the reason to put it on him, maybe.
In this fight, not really. Spiker only has attack all and directed punch. Quartz only has targeted attacks.
So, like, if... Basically, what you want to hope for, quote-unquote, is that Spiker is doing an attack to Collector, and Quartz is just doing cleave, basically. And then 2 out of 3
Quartz
times...
doesn't have cleave.
Oh, wait, they don't?
No.
Oh, well, that's awkward, huh? They have 5 damage, yeah. Okay.
The heavy in this case goes on the Acolyte, which I guess is fine. Doesn't really change anything.
The what goes on the Acolyte?
The heavy, because Acolyte is 10 health.
Oh, I see. Right. Yeah, so this is not likely to get value turn 1. So it's just Caldera then.
Yeah.
Wow, you fucking bastard.
Oh my god, that's impressive.
Oh, but he was, because he was hit turn 1 and he had reduced health. We forgot about the curse.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It has 6, and therefore that's less than 7.
Yay, yeah, it's okay. Anyway, I get to kill Quartz this turn, so I couldn't care less about Spiker by himself.
Yeah.
He's like the least threatening enemy in the game. Smile.
There's even an argument to just keep the poison stab because it's poison stab.
I mean, I have to actually protect him somehow.
I mean, you're rolling Cleric and Acolyte still, but yeah.
I don't actually have to attack Spiker with Collector, though, if I have to. Anyway. Let's hope I can protect you, okay?
Okay.
It's possible to roll right now and not have enough things. So, yeah. I think that's what I'm doing.
That's very awkward.
Okay. Again, I'm not worried.
Yeah.
Fucking
Can you
bastard.
stop doing that?
Okay, so
Yeah,
this
that's
is 6 pip right now, basically, on Collector. So I need to block Collector again. Alkalite needs to do that, I think.
Yeah.
Yep, and then Collector can roll for the 2 damage and 2 shield to get 1 shield value. Okay. I guess you're gonna die, Collector. I mean, the game doesn't want to participate. Let's get poison. Okay, there we go. I can't attack with that. That was kind of weird.
Oh.
So, Rogue's gonna kill itself.
Yeah, I should probably keep the dagger just to avoid more cantrip damage.
Okay. Why not? Okay, yeah, you don't need to play the game, it's fine. Let's do let's do this. Not that, sorry. Probably not meant to attack with Rogue. Let's heal Collector because of no reason, I guess. I should heal one of these two. I guess I'd care more about Collector being low.
It's fair.
Probably.
Yeah. Rogue is a bit awkward here, but what can you do?
Yeah, just 1 damage sides against Spiker is kind of a meme.
Can you stop doing that?
Wow.
Rogue has a chance to die if you don't pick up the dice here, so you kind of have to.
I'm gonna make sure that I heal Rogue soon.
You could restore twice here.
Or just once.
True. That's an excellent point.
Yeah, so now Rogue is completely fine again, so just do that.
Until another cantrip happens. Oh, wow. Didn't cantrip. 3, 5. You do just have lethal here.
Yes. Rude. We already talked about this earlier. I don't want the priestess. What was it?
Shout out to medic for not turning up.
Yeah. Admittedly, priestess spell is good. I guess we had Sapphire, so maybe that was consideration. But I like the cleanse too much, and I like the double sort of Sapphire, I guess, that you get from Druid. I guess I'm just gonna call these Sapphires whenever you have two pip mana sides. But yeah, that's what they are, Sapphires. And this Druid comes with a fucking with a seedling. Good for her. All right, everyone has a good amount of health now, so Pocket Flight Tree probably goes somewhere else. We're fighting a Quartz, a zombie, and a sniper, so this is gonna have some weird shit. This fight probably.
Yeah. So what's our 4 damage situation?
Sad, I think. It's not good.
Oh dear.
We're probably just gonna kill zombie, like the old-fashioned way. Potentially, I'm trying to think of like any way to do it. Is there? I think there was a way. I don't remember what it was now. Maybe there
It
wasn't.
was if we picked up Lucky, then we had a chance, but
If we have Collector dying, then it would work.
wow, that is very specific.
Yes. Kind of unlikely, even.
Hmm. And
This does
Collectors
7,
also
6 damage.
does have to consider that you kind of want to kill the sniper as well, and Collector has one of the two range sides.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. Okay. So I think probably that's unlikely, even though right now the zombie would only target either Collector, Rogue, or Caldera if it got the heavy hand. And there's like maybe a chance that it gets attacked because of Sniper Eliminate or something.
True.
I still think it's a little weird. I'm not sure. It's not much better on like Caldera though, is it?
Yeah, I think Collector just for that off chance is a good enough argument.
Yeah. And then again, it's like Heavy Hammer, but we just want to hit Quartz. So this is actually the situation you put it on Collector.
Right.
And that leaves us with wanting to put this on like one of the 7 health units, probably.
Mhm. Whoever he puts it on is probably going to get punched.
Leave is kind of a thing.
Quartz also has heavy.
So maybe someone with just a lot of health then.
I do like to take some considerations for what the sides you put pain on actually are. Hmm.
I think it's maybe nah, it's probably just Druid again. Because Druid
Druid
has
has a problem that you have growth sides, so they are pretty bad value with pain.
I think this fight ends in 2 turns. Or 2 or 3-ish turns kinda.
Hmm.
Like when I say ends, I don't mean like it literally just stops. I mean like the fight goes on, but it's easy after you kill like 2 enemies, 1 enemy.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I think that having this work only once basically is fine. But yeah, you kind of just want mana. Like you typically land on mana or cleanse here, I think, and the other 2 are fine. Like they're good, but you know, not as good as they originally were. And again, you like gain so much health with this item. Like we have 13 with Druid right now. Holy shit! I think it's just completely fine. And then you have 6 plus 5, and then it's still too much health, and then it like Sniper maybe eliminates, and then it's like at that point, you know, everybody's investing onto one character. You just kill somebody. Or heal with Cleric or something. Anyway. Okay, Sniper is in dying range. Rolling Caldera for 3 side looks okay. Actually, we could just balance. Killing Sniper is like a perfectly fine play here, I think. Float a mana. Admittedly, the poison's kind of obnoxious. Yeah, it's kind of obnoxious, but what can you do about it?
You're in a situation right now. I have only one cleanse side, and usually you do prefer having more than that. Oh, I guess Cleric also has one.
I think I'm gonna roll both of these because Rogue has like a mana side that I could get instead of Druids, and also Cleric has a mana side for balance, and also Rogue could just roll an arrow. So there's a lot of outs for killing Sniper, either with balance or with the arrow. So I want to roll all of these because I want the high roll of cleansing Caldera, basically. And I think the low roll is like fine, basically. Okay. This is a pretty good roll, I'll take that. I don't care much about 1 damage, let's roll. Okay. Why is this guy... Did I heal him at one point? Oh, I did because of
That balance
balance.
does. Yeah.
I was wondering why the value looked different than I remember. Oh, look at that. Thank God
Nice.
zombie took 1 damage earlier.
Oh dear.
I want to heal the enemy. It's not even a good side. Anyway, let's grab probably...
Mm.
I want to try for different stuff here with those. And just cleanse side on either of you. And potentially smoke bomb to skip half the enemy turn here. Stuff like that. Okay, this could just kill zombie flat out, maybe. Or Quartz. Quartz has 5 health, which kills that.
And then we have the good heal on Cleric.
Okay.
Well, now killing Quartz is a bit awkward.
Yeah. No, you still just do that. Okay. Also, we do this.
Oh, right, growth.
I'm doing this because Quartz is not attacking Rogue, and I'm not too worried about the condition Quartz has to attack it, too. Okay. Can we roll cleanse sides in the near future, perhaps? It's just a thought, I don't know. If we rolled a cleanse side, it would greatly benefit me, I think. As the kids would say. Kill this.
Or just get leaf. Wait, yeah. Wait,
I mean, this doesn't actually...
burst. You can stab burst and that kills both.
Oh, right. That makes sense. Lol. Combat magic.
All allies. I write hack.
I tend to like spells quite a bit in this game, like the ones that you find. Because again, it's like flexibility. It's like you can dump mana, which is generic, into something that could become useful. And you bet that I love 4 damage as an increment because it kills zombie, which you just saw was kind of a problem there. And I guess bones or something. I don't know.
Or in this case, even you can one-shot the bones and then one-shot a quartz because it gets damaged by the bones.
Yeah. So yeah, even though we don't have that many characters right now that have blinks, I mean, it's still like a really strong side to have as a blink. Whiskey is good, but I don't know, basically. It's fine. I don't really have a strong opinion of whiskey yet. It's one of the new items, I think. Either that or I just discovered it and it's been around for a while.
I think it's fairly new.
Yeah, I mean, it's good if I have, like, giant ways to heal, but by the time I do that, I don't really need it, right? I don't know. It's fine. I like combat magic. Even if it's not insanely relevant. I want this on somebody who is unlikely to die, so probably Druid. Because if they die, the book goes away too. You don't keep it if they die. These have no cleave. It's all just single hit. So person at 8.
Heavy here.
Hmm?
Oh. There's a lot of heavy. Bones are mostly heavy. The crystals have heavy. So
yeah, that's fair. I'm also gonna move the sapling probably. Yeah, because if this would a spell might be a thing. Or with bones value, etc. Actually, not bones value, but it might kill a quartz, you know? That's really the better one, example of what I meant. Because it's heavy.
Like the nice thing about heavy when enemies have roughly the same health is you can use other attacks to basically choose what the heavy goes on.
Yeah. What I might do here is I might put you here. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Yeah.
I want to roll
And
hack or blink pretty bad here.
one thing that's actually kind of interesting here is since all the enemies have slow and give rogues so much max HP, odds are you can smoke bomb for like 12 block turn 1, because like 3 enemies end up attacking rogue.
Oh yeah, that's pretty interesting actually. Good observation. And yeah, this sapling is already useless, but again, it's still, am I like still at tier 1 that you can use often, just not here, I guess. So I'll just put it on Druid or something. And this book I'm gonna put on someone slightly healthier, like Cleric, I guess. I guess Collector protects himself.
Yeah.
And yeah, Cleric does the most relevant thing when he's attacked so that he dies, because you can just kill a bone in one hit. Which Caldera, I mean, he can kind of do that too, I guess. But, you know, there's the 2 side as well, and yeah. Flexibility of the spell, I guess, is not that big of a factor for me right now. Maybe it should be. Nah, I guess it's fine.
Slightly awkward part here is that 2 of the characters with X's are the characters that give 2 mana. But what can you do about that?
Yeah, that is kind of a truth, but indeed, what can you do about it? Okay, what am I doing here? Don't think I like that side.
Cleaver 3 damage saves Caldera because you kill the bone second from the bottom.
A little worried about the quartz too, but yeah, you're probably right about that.
And we can still get cantrips that make more targets viable to hit with a stick. Like that.
Ah, that's nice. Okay, so Smoke Bomb is super good here. All these are super good. Okay, I need to think about bone math potentially. Okay. Not much to think of bone math, I guess.
If you cleave second from the bottom and
Sure.
then hit it with the stick, then the druid can kill the bottom one afterwards.
Okay. That's a pretty good line, yeah.
And actually, yeah, you can inverse the order there and then kill the quartz with this thing afterwards.
Very strong turn. And yeah, there's always a bunch of lines you can look for with bones if you spend a long time on it. Azu is very good at bone math. I would have taken a few minutes, probably. But you'd get to the same kind of conclusion about bone math, you know, eventually. You just spend some time on the turn. You know? I don't really care. Just roll better side, I guess.
Aren't those just the same ones?
Yeah, they are. Not the same, not better, rather.
Skull this here? Yeah. Nice.
Lich and zombie.
Forsaken with Death Wish is actually fairly strong.
Oh yeah, that was one of the ones that I thought was pretty good with Death Wish.
You just have a 4 team heal, and you also end up having a 4 damage heal.
Yeah. Forsaken's this is kind of the run for oddball reds because normally I don't take Forsaken too often either. But it's definitely a lot of health. More tempting than normal. Brawler, do I have a reason to believe Brawler is like particularly relevant? Not
We
really.
currently don't have any ways yet to buff the Rampage, and I generally find that buffing Rampage past 2 makes it that much stronger.
Yeah, and the thing about this Forsaken too is we get the 2 Sapphire sides still. Which normally is kind of the nice thing about tier 3s is that they have a Sapphire side. These get it bundled with health. But yeah. And I haven't fucked with the spell too much, but it seems perfectly reasonable. I just, haven't used it that much. But like obviously heal 3 rescue is like more obviously good. Liqueur is obviously good because there's like a cleanse. Yeah, I guess the only issue with Forsaken really is that you lose cleanse, basically.
True, yeah, we're giving up one of our 2 cleanse sides right now, which is pretty rough.
If we're seeing a red early, I wonder if you're meant to just wait for Shaman or Alchemist because of that. Because they have a spells that cleanse.
I feel like cleanses just like range become more of a premium currently.
Yeah, so like even though Forsaken's good with Death Wish, I think it's kind of a trap to pick her because I feel like you can get by without the 4 group heal, and then it's like you get the cleanse, and then you don't die to Dragon, you don't die to Hexia, and you don't die to the random hallway that will just have like 3 enemies that do 2 poison pips to you, and then you're just like, oh yay, I have no cleanse, and then you die. And Brawler is like a character. I like the stun occasionally. The steel sides are pretty worthless. The rampage sides are okay. It's like a downgrade on Collector, but it's fine. The health is nice. Like you get 3 additional health compared to Collector. Also, he has a blink side, which is kind of better than anything Collector has if you pay 2 mana for it. I guess. Sort of. So now we're fighting Lich and Zombie. As the kids call it.
Yeah. Hack is fairly premium in turn 1 here just because of the zombie.
Yeah. It definitely is. Alright, well. Let's unequip a couple things there, I guess. We still like the Sapphire on Rogue quite a bit.
I forget what's below there. Just another poison stab?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, poison isn't even that good on Lich because usually you want to maintain the bones, and then poisoning Lich just means you can get overrun by bones because you can't not do damage.
Yeah, precisely.
Plus the whole with Lich being the backline makes it hard to apply the poison in the first place.
Yeah. I feel like I've sat in a different position. Check something. Anyway, sorry about that. Does that sound okay still?
Yeah, still sounds good.
Okay. Caldera then for Death Wish.
Yeah, we like mana here.
So my reasoning for never mind. I was gonna say something, but I just realized it didn't make a ton of sense. A range on Rogue. I wonder if that's relevant here. I would say
not
no.
really. Like you either want to focus the summons or you want to or the Lich isn't in the macro anyways.
Yeah. You definitely don't want this on Brawler. You could have that on Cleric, probably. Probably
It's a longer
Caldera.
fight. Yeah, Caldera is nice because you one of the things is a single use anyway, so it goes away.
So I think you do this. Because
Yeah, I can
Brawler has
agree.
the second highest HP. Alright.
Oh. Well, we now have the hack if we want to.
Oh, well, that's just nice, isn't it?
Do you want the druid for that?
No?
Yeah, I think growth sides of mana are just reasonably more value here.
Yeah, I would agree. Because, they're weakening us and we want to prevent that. And we want to set up for next turn. And, doing more damage to Lich doesn't actually set up next turn very well because we're just going to try to stall a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, and getting it very close to a breakpoint is kind of sketchy with Rogue being able to counter it repeatedly.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
So yeah, I don't think a second hack has any value here.
Not really enough. Just the one hack to kill the actual zombie. So we could roll for cleanse pretty hard here. I think I will.
Yeah, once we kill the zombie, it's only 2 value on the heal block, anyways.
Okay, I guess you're gonna do 4 damage. Alright.
I'm not even sure if you do. I think Rogue just wants to get the growth in instead without summoning.
Alright. Yeah, I agree. It's bad to actually split the Lich.
Yeah, and it's just getting your scaling up in this fight is very nice, especially because growth then just does better damage on bones.
I'm not sure who to block here. It's a little weird to evaluate.
I think it's cleric, yeah.
I kind of felt like it was Cleric, but I actually have no idea why. I think just their heal for Pip is good or something is my evaluation.
Oh, right. Cantrip can't even work this turn. I completely forgot about that detail.
Is this was this buffed last turn?
You're weakened.
But am I weakened for 2?
You're weakened for 1. You used the shield last turn,
Oh, thank you.
and
That's what
Rogue used the sword.
I see. Okay, yeah, so we don't want to do any damage, basically, because next turn we want to just kill the bones that she's going to summon instead of, set up more bones to kill at the same time. Basically, we're trying to prevent this fight from being 4 bones at the same time.
Yeah. And
So I'm
there's a
happy
limit
to
to how
heal,
much
I'm
we can
happy to
do,
grow.
so-
Can Brawler
Yeah.
do anything? 1 damage is okay to do. I'd rather get the... but if we kill... I don't mind proccing the bone thing next turn, just not this turn. If we do
Yeah.
damage to her with the bones dying, I don't mind if it procs the bone summon. Because the bones can't do anything the turn they're summoned, just the next turn. So I'm gonna try to get Rogue to do the thing.
Or getting a mana is fun as well.
Okay, we actually got that. These are all sides that do something. I might not use all of them.
Don't use Brawler, but
Yeah.
the rest you can use.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Our growth cells are now very strong already because we've used them several times.
Yep. Kind of want cleanse.
Yeah.
15, 8. If I could do 7 damage to Lich, doesn't seem terribly likely.
No. Stunning Bones keeps clerics alive, but Could also just kill it instead. I don't know.
I would rather kill it. Unpopular opinion, perhaps, but murder is pretty effective.
Rampage is here.
Yeah, it's like the relevant side. Can we get one of those cleanse sides we talked about?
I'm wondering if Rogue rolls for... Oh, I was wondering if Rogue maybe rolls for cantrip to get Bones Rampage value.
Bones. Nah, I think the mana is consistently good. I don't want to smoke bomb or... I don't know. I didn't feel very good about it.
That's fair.
I guess the poison and smoke bomb are not very exciting.
So...
Wait, yeah, we're gonna kill that anyway. Wait, do we just do this, maybe?
We could do it again, actually. And then you should be able to kill everything here. And probably not poke again. Seems bad to have summons here.
Yeah, especially if I can't cleanse immediately.
Cleric keeps cleanse, which is nice at least.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Yeah, it's maybe a thing we can address. Petrified does work in a very specific order. It's top, bottom, and then across the middle. So you can actually tell which sides are going to be usable and which aren't afterwards. You can actually stun now since you hit with a dagger.
Yeah, that was intentional. That's why I kept the sword in the thing. I always had that. I don't want to do that now. I want mana, I guess. I can stall for cleric.
Maybe we can look for a cleanse instead. I'm not sure.
It might be better just to have the mana, honestly, at this point. I'm not sure. I guess I'll look for the cleanse pretty desperately. Okay.
Okay, bones are out.
Yeah, but they're doing nothing, so I'm not as worried, thankfully. Shit, man. I just want to have the ability to cleanse. This is why cleanse is so important, by the way.
It might look like we're just finishing out the fight quickly as possible without cleansing.
Yeah, we have a 6 damage side on Lich, so it might actually be quite likely.
We need to kill the bones first, so if Rogue hits the growth sword, we can get there. Oh, you can also burst Brawler, that works.
I could shield Brawler and then...
Yeah, you could balance and then get there. Balance, shield, Brawler, growth sword, body slam, Caldera. Yeah, that works.
Do I keep this or does it matter?
Does make a difference, but it's just you can choose if you want a better thing on Rogue or not.
So I didn't follow through. You said do this.
Balance. Yeah, then you have 3 damage on the bottom, 3 damage on the... Yeah, that one.
Thank you. Yeah, pretty easy. So, like, even when things start to go slightly downhill, by then the fight was so controlled that we were able to just push through with a bit of damage. You know? It's just sort of like a last resort kind of thing, you know? to try to push
Yeah.
through. I like Shining Bow.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Like we were talking about how range is very premium, so just having range on everything that you do is very good. Like especially with Brawler, if you get a fight with several archers, you just like rampage every single archer down.
Yep. Silver Pendant is really good, but I think Shining Bow is more relevant, actually.
Silver Pendant also gets quite a bit better if you have like cleave shields, which you don't right now. But
it only affects like one person's the thing. I think the best use case for this is like the tier 3, the guy that blocks himself, kind of like Monk at tier 3, basically.
yeah, true. But I was thinking it's like with if you have like only big directed blocks, then you have the issue that you're just blocking for 6 every single time,
Yep.
which can often be excessive.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
can often be. But yeah, I think Shining Bow.
Let's see.
Actually, I was talking about to Gebby and Thunder earlier. I think this fight might be one of the hardest fights in the game currently, which makes me wonder if maybe if Silver Pendant is relevant for exactly this fight. I think no, probably, but maybe something to think about. So
yeah,
this
it's
could
definitely worth
actually.
a thought, but we're kind of very not geared for range right now.
Let's see. Range doesn't matter. Yeah, this is. Actually, no. I want poison to be doubled. Yeah. I think that's what I want. No, having double mana is kind of relevant more often anyway. It's fine, because we want this to be for like a Scald and stuff. The issue
Like
is
this
that
fight has a lot of summons, so getting the Scald in is fairly valuable.
it's like a cleave situation. So, cleric is going to be the one that's dying, and doubling the cleric shield feels bad, but maybe it's more relevant. But no, I'm just going to hope that this is more relevant, I think.
Yeah.
And I want the demon or the pain thing to go on this Caldera because he's at the edge of the cleave fight, and also because, again, the wand, I guess.
Yeah. Just has the most efficient sides to have pain on.
Yeah, I would say so. Alright. Let's hope I don't die. Okay, they're doing double summon, which I think is good if we can kill Snake and Wisp immediately.
If we get a Rampage this turn is insane.
Yeah, would be nice. I will admit. I'm not going to keep this stun. I want to kill these two.
Please?
I will just take this, I think. Okay. So this turn you want to like pop this on Snake or something.
Yeah.
Actually, we can do that.
Right.
Whoops, sorry, not that.
And then just poke it 3 times.
Okay.
Then, is there any consideration here? Not really.
No, it's just guessing. But yeah, this is better, I think, to have 2 wolves. So
some level of consideration is that the fact that one puts the wolf in the side, one puts the wolf in the middle, but I don't know if that makes enough of a difference in the scenario here.
yeah, I'm not sure either.
Like, there are a lot of very small interactions in this game where things that it feels like it doesn't make a difference, it does make a difference. You just have to find out if it's actually a worthwhile one.
More damage.
Attack is good, but we're not quite in a position to. Well, we can get a rampage value if we get that, but I guess 4 damage is also just good.
Roll all of these. I want X's. And Scald. Probably. Well, then to do that, I would need 1 mana left. No, I have 5 mana currently. That's enough to do what I want. I'm gonna do this. If I heal for 2, that's fine, I think.
Yeah.
I think doing 3 damage is not relevant enough, basically, because right now I have 4 damage plus Scald on a wolf.
You could 3 damage Scald bounce if you keep the mana, but that might be a bit too narrow.
3 damage Scald what?
Oh wait, yeah, if we're doing hack, then that doesn't work. That's awkward.
Yep. Okay.
We could just balance Scald here. If we wanted to.
Balance Scald.
Or retain Scald for next turn. But yeah, balance just sets up for everything being damaged. Wait, how much did you heal there?
1.
You can pain first and then heal kill there for 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like this line because I can't kill a wolf.
True.
I think I would rather just kill a wolf, probably. Maybe one thing I could do is instead of scalding, I could just burst twice. No, that's dumb. Maybe I should. Anyway, I should definitely kill this one because it's setting this one low, which is bad. And then I should. Let's see. I mean, I don't have anything to afford. I don't want to burst the wolf. Do I want to burst the wolf? Actually, I do, because having 2 mana, like killing this alpha slightly faster doesn't matter, I don't think.
I think just 1 damage 2 is just a bit too efficient to pass up.
To have 3 mana do 4?
Yeah, just getting that. Like, we end up getting extra 2 damage for 1 mana, which is pretty efficient.
It is, but I don't know if it pertains too much here. It's kind of... I don't know. I actually think it isn't worth it, because it's on a big body that we're not going to kill until we kill other wolves. Maybe, But you might burst the alpha down. Yeah, I guess... I think it barely is probably worth it too, yeah. Because we need to attack these at some point, I guess.
There's also the argument, or I guess Brawler's taking off damage, but there is some argument for stuns.
True, I guess. Probably. But yeah, this is going to be rough. I mean, there's 2 wolves here, and there's an alpha that is slightly lower, but... Okay. So right now we have potential scald value, potential blank value. This is not really what I was hoping for.
Not really.
I can just take this and then I'd rather have Rogue do that damage though. Really wish there was any other damage side. But yeah, I could do, you know, that's so awkward, dude. It's not enough. Am I fucked? No, I could always just... Trying to think, like... No, yeah, I can't necessarily rely on this working out. I guess if I get like one blink, that I get to kill one of these with this, and then probably have a way to save the other one.
Mm.
What would
Maybe
that
this is
be?
slightly what I was talking about last turn, where getting balance in to set up skulls feels pretty strong, but
I think that I always have a way to save Druid and Brawler because Blink results in me killing Wolf or, you know.
yeah.
So I think no matter what, because of hack, I don't low roll here basically. So I want to roll all of these because these are all really bad because they do very little compared to Blink even.
Mm. The
Smoke
only
Bomb
question
is the
is,
only real bad thing I can roll, I guess.
question is if how does Druid stay alive in that situation?
If
Because
you get
Druid,
Rogue with a Smoke Bomb, you mean?
I mean, just in like the thing is, Druid doesn't get saved by hacks because Alpha is doing all the damage.
Um, my reasoning was that you would somehow get like a block instance from Claire. I guess you're right though, because if you get like damage from a hack, that doesn't do it.
Um, hmm. If Cleric hits mana, you can burst twice and live, but that seems very inefficient.
Yeah, but getting, I wonder if I get Blink. Hold on, if I get like sword that's 3 and a sword on cleric, then I have 7 damage, and then I probably just kill alpha, and
Hmm.
then brawler dies. Yay.
I think rolling these three is gives you enough lines that are good. God.
If you
Losing a
get
hero here
3
feels bad,
and
but
7 and 9, then it's like it bursts, or it's like this fucking smoke bomb is what ruins it. If you get the smoke bomb, the turn just sucks occasionally. But usually it doesn't, and then some. You only get one person dead, but that's a death sentence in this fight.
unless you in the process kill Alpha. Like, I think 4 characters can take down a single Alpha.
Yeah, but it's still dangerous, I think. I don't like it, but I think it might have to be what we do. I mean, this is just so inefficient. It's just so
Yeah,
bad.
like playing this turn safe just means you die to attrition, probably.
Probably, it's the same roll. It's kind of obnoxious. Wow.
God.
This is such a bad attrition roll, too. Like, it doesn't get me anywhere. Okay. I mean, can I kill anything? If I do everything spent, I can kill something. But, what does it really achieve,
That's a good question.
Like, not
God.
much. Might be better to just do that.
Yeah. This is kind of miserable.
I would agree with this assessment. I don't really know how to distribute damage here. It's a little odd.
I do definitely think that slash has to happen.
It might be this, it might be like this.
I think it's the Alpha poison. It's just too much value here.
This is really sad. Okay, this is kind of a forgiving turn, I think. That's a nice start. We can do that now for free. This just kills Caldera.
I'm not happy about that.
No, I want like a side that doesn't kill Caldera. I want mana because it does like damage and Scald and stuff. Scald's like not even good though. It's like okay here. I mean, yeah, it's still pretty good. Okay. gonna roll all these. But just don't say, okay, you can stop doing that. This is more what we wanted. We'll probably just take a safe shield.
Yeah.
Is that true? I mean, the fucking hack still exists. Do I want to hack instead? Yeah, it would kill a wolf or an alpha or something.
True.
Okay.
God, this has been a weird fight.
Yeah, it's been really odd. You said oh?
No, just there is a smoke bomb. Let's see.
I'm just trying stuff here. We can always go back. Say, obviously, one of you dies with this line.
Yeah, I think you could do the same line except you burst the wolf and then burst again to block. And then Caldera pokes the wolf.
Right. I see now. This is fine.
Yeah.
Only cleric takes damage. Everyone's low, but that's because of the previous turns. Okay, 2 summons is fine, because we're going to kill Alpha, probably. And it's slow anyway, even if that weren't true. Probably just going to heal Caldera.
Yeah, it seems like an efficient use of things.
Yeah, I think so as well. That's really funny.
That's
like
thanks
fine.
for the damage, brawler. Did it just burst? Oh, that works. Right, that it just does more damage.
Yep.
Sometimes I forget hack exists.
No, hack is really weird. Like, it forces you to evaluate your characters entirely differently. At least in my experience. But yeah, see how miserable this fight is? Like, we're so close to dying the entire fight. I truly think this is like one of the hardest fights left in the game.
Let's see.
I want to kill these like wolves, so I'm gonna roll rogue. And again, hack is so strong right now. On like every character. Except Brawler, probably.
Like, hack is good with the rampage because they're just 4 damage in the rampage to kill.
Yep. So I wonder if I want it on Caltier. Nah.
I think it might be better than a 2 damage pain.
I think it is, yeah, actually. God, that's so weird. Okay, we like that. Again, just we can do better than all of these sides, I think. Except I can always protect
we like
myself.
Characters to, yeah, I like characters staying alive. That's good.
The thing is, we could always burst ourselves, I guess, but maybe I don't want to rely on that. Let's That's such a bad side right now.
Unless we want to get Scold value in with it somehow. I don't know.
This is probably fine. Okay. I really wish we got blinks. I really do.
Wait, if Caldera hits a wolf, what does that do?
Not much. Scald doesn't really work.
You could consider doing, that.
Let's do it the other way around.
Yeah, to get more damage on the top wolf.
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll take that. I don't like hitting the wolf for 2 when it is so low.
With cantrip dice, it kind of straight up die. which is nice.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll do that then. Yep. Smile. Alright, I'm actually gonna take this maybe. Nah, not yet. Soon, perhaps.
If we had a cleric heal, we could, but...
I'm gonna just take these. These seem very safe. I'm gonna go with this now. Is this good? Can I kill Alpha? Should I kill Alpha?
If you kill Alpha with that, Brawler doesn't actually live. Unless you like... Wait, you can burst as well.
Yeah. 5
Actually seems good.
damage. And then I don't have enough to kill Alpha.
Unless Rogue rolls anything that isn't Smoke Bomb.
Yeah, I mean, that's not likely, though, because the game dislikes me.
Oh dear. Hello. Do you need that? Yeah. Bye. Well, we got through the fight, it seems.
Yep, hard fight, by the way.
That kills.
Warlock is kill any zombie you want simulator. Except we don't
What?
really...
I have not seen this fight before, excuse me?
Oh, this is definitely pretty exotic. I think in this fight we just take Warlock and are fine, probably.
Yeah.
That would be my assumption.
God, these things are scary. 4 goblins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although, if we somehow get like exactly 6 mana and a rampage side turn 1, we just kill all the goblins.
Something like that. I don't think you take Keeper here, though. It's no way.
No.
Cleric is too good. Because the 4 pip. Keeper has, like, no pip, kind of. Better damage than Cleric, though. That's the thing about Keeper. Also, he has 3 more health. Warlock just has really good pips, I think. Mana flexibility, way to get a lot of mana. A spell that just kills a goblin, which is...
I think it increased it to 6 mana, so it's fairly expensive to do.
Is that better value than anything? Not really.
Not really, that's the same as bursting 3 times.
So if we take Warlock, it's worth noting that we don't actually have Scald, which was probably part of what you suggested earlier.
Ooh, yeah, that's actually a pretty huge downside in this fight, not have Scald, but...
So is having Keeper, though.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's kind of an oh dear moment for sure.
Although, just 3 damage Heart Sword also feels pretty good in this fight. Like 3 damage sets up a rampage every single time.
Yeah, I guess it's Keeper because exactly this fight exists in the game, and Warlock just doesn't work this fight, basically. I mean, Keeper is also one of the best possible, usually, I would imagine, for this tier, for this hero.
One thing we do have, Warlock has a Bloodlust side, and Bloodlust mana, and we have a balance. So if you get balance off, then you just have like 1 billion mana.
Maybe that's good enough.
Like Bloodlust works well with both balance
if we
and
balance
cantrip daggers.
So yeah, if we balance, yeah, it's true, the cantrip as well. If we balance, we just have 7 mana aside. And then with 7 mana, you can probably kill off 2 goblins, probably.
You can balance 2 more times and then win with Rampage. Like, actually.
Oh, yeah, I like this better. Part of it again is cleanse on the gray sides. Like the gray heroes, I probably want to wait to find a cleanse with. There's two that have like good cleanse sides, right? There's the
Arrows.
stalwart and paladin specifically.
Yeah.
Keeper's pretty good, but I like cleanse proactively prevent getting in a situation where you're at low health instead of just preventing you from dying. It seems more safe to me. These also don't interact with items very favorably usually. I'll try Warlock. I think it's okay.
Also, Warlock has 2 X's for hack, which is a nice thing.
Oh yeah, how about that? So yeah, range does nothing this fight.
We now don't really have anything to put the Death Wish thing on, which is a bit awkward, but...
Yeah, that can happen. We're putting it in the middle because of Cleave.
Yeah.
Instead of Druid, which wouldn't even matter in my opinion anyway. Again, there's no range, so Rogue stays the way that they are.
Mana is very good to set up, as we said, the Rampage Bloodless stuff.
Yep. So we need to figure out who to give the pocket to.
It's... God, Warlock, it's good with a Pain mana, but it's terrible with the other mana, because then we just take 7 damage when in an ideal case.
Yeah. It might be Druid again.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to put this on Brawler because all the way... they're right in the middle still.
Let's see...
Probably Druid then. Could also put it on Rogue and just not have Sapling. Not that, sorry, I meant the pocket. But if I do that, then... It's a little weird. No, I should put it in towards the middle anyway because of the cleave thing. I want the Drew to have more health. Yeah, that's my real reasoning there anyway.
Yeah.
And then the book can just simply go on... Oh, well, I'm like deciding which one of these, but I guess it's Druid. Okay.
Okay, Warlock is currently dying. There's one cantrip dagger.
Yep. 4 mana side right now.
It's kind of awkward to take 4 self damage this turn, though.
Yep. That's not good.
Nope, these are bad sides.
There are like 4 good rolls here, including this die that I'm already on. But the other 2 are better. I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a blank, but, you know, we want better than that. We can't really afford to dodge. We can't really afford to do that. This is probably good. Maybe we want to stun.
God, that's a hard choice.
Maybe we want to stun or have an X. Would you say an X is better than Rampage? No, I don't think it is. Probably.
An X is better exactly if you get absolutely terrible dice, but Hmm.
No, I want to be able to fund the mana with the rampage side, maybe without killing something.
Yeah, I mean, if you use it to hack, then you might as well burst and then rampage instead, and deal 4 damage with 2 mana and have the rampage side still.
These are actually decent sides.
Oh, you can do some interesting things this turn. Let's see.
Probably this to start with. Probably. Oh, this is bad. I could, I could do this. Oh, interesting. What if I did like this?
Yeah, let's see. What other options do you have then? The numbers distribution on this fight is weird. I'm trying to see if there's anything useful you can do.
It's probably my best line.
Yeah, God, goblins are miserable. Would have been real nice if we could kill one more this turn, but wait. Oh right, you haven't balanced this turn yet.
I don't want to balance this turn at all, because I can just get value next turn for it.
Yeah, it's just I was surprised that Slate had 4 health, but of course you undid the spell.
I think killing the cleave one... Oh, but these fucking shield ones are going to be hard to kill. It's probably worth killing them if I can help make it possible. In fact, it's so important that I might start the turn with that. And see how far I can go with it. It's attacking the gray one, which both of these have the same health. I need to seriously... I might actually do this right now. That's how little... Okay, but then I can't protect blue.
Hmm.
So I guess one of them has to stay around. I guess.
But then Rogue dies to the cleave.
Oh god. That's really awkward.
Yeah, if you want your characters to live, you have to let both the shield ones survive.
That's so bad. Not being able to kill those. It's really bad. It means you just get murdered by Goblin next turn. It might actually be the best play to kill nothing in that fucking case.
So you do have the Warlock spell that does 13 damage that kills them through the block.
That's kind of a good point. And you get to save mana. Alright, then I think I'm probably meant to just leave them and have the same... That situation where both shield guys are alive and Slate takes 1 damage.
Yeah.
That's probably the best situation then, in that case.
Warlock is good, actually.
Yeah, probably. I'm gonna try this.
Yeah.
I'm worried about cleave, but it's unlikely. Smile.
It's unlikely that both cleave, especially.
Okay, one of them did.
Yeah, we can Warlock spell it, and then it's fine. Druid is looking very not alive right now. That's unfortunate.
I mean, I just need 3 block now. Or, we're
Keep
locked
in
up.
mind, the top goblin will deal 1 more damage afterwards.
Oh yeah, they don't look very alive, I agree. That's okay, this is a hard fight. Actually, is hack better? Like, do I win doing this?
No question mark. Let's see. If Rogue got 2 mana, it would still not kill both goblins.
Yeah, that's kind of a good point. Would it... Wait, but, okay, so... It would do 8 damage, and then I would have 4 mana left over. So... Then you could burst Druid for 2. It's an improvement, smile. I think I just roll these anyway.
Yeah, like a Warlock can hit mana instead, and that seems considerably stronger.
No, we never get that though. So this...
Stun would be insane, actually.
Yeah, I agree. We don't kill Slate for any reason, do we?
No.
Well, yeah, no, that doesn't really work. Okay. Alright. Sides that don't work. Okay, we actually
Holy
got
shit.
more mana and stuff.
Let's see, it was stun one and Warlock blast the other, probably.
Yeah, the outcome is the same either way, like both of them don't do anything. Is the outcome of that.
Oh right, Warlock was changed to no longer be drained, so it actually heals 3 from hitting Slate.
Oh.
Like yeah, when it was a drain, it actually just gained 1 health from hitting Slate, but now it gains
I
3.
forgot that was even a thing, to be honest.
Stun? No, that's not stun, that's a smoke bomb.
This fucking kill goblin. Don't ever want to see Goblin alive again.
Could keep the...
If we get hack, we're fine. If we get hack, we're fine. Like if we have the X blink. That feels kind of pointless now, doesn't it?
Yeah, hit it and then burst and then you win.
Yay!
Wow. That was not a comfy fight at all.
No, that was... We're having some of like the roughest fights ever. What the fuck? This is not usually the part of the game that I struggle at. Maybe this comp just sucks, I don't know. Iron Helm.
No, I mean, those were definitely, I think, the 2 hardest fights you could get here.
Yeah, probably. And like, look at this fight. This is way easier in comparison to the double alpha. Are you kidding me?
Wait, this is 2 floors after double alpha?
Yeah.
What?
Like, if you have any range, they're dead, which we do. We just have spells. Like, specifically Druid Spell. And Rogue. I guess, yeah. The force spell you cast, you Spite is free. That's not gonna go off ever.
If it does, though, it hits the Warlock thing, which is nice.
Yep. But I would have to spend 6 mana. I guess that's pretty likely, actually. Iron Helm is... because we have Sapphire.
Iron Helm is just very large.
It's big, and you don't have to do anything. But it's also not Fizzing Bolt. God, this is hard.
And it's like, we're looking at... Is this... Which floor is this again? I forget.
We're on floor 15.
15, which means that, yeah, I get 6s or 7s, I think. Yeah, so we don't... These are on the high end of the pool, not the low end, so random is a bit worse.
Both of these are good. We're not kicking random. God, what is... It's like you have to rely... but we have a way to generate so much fucking mana.
Yeah. Like, we occasionally have the chance to just completely pop off on mana, and then Fizzing Bolt is kind of insane.
But then Iron Helm is, like, good for, like, safety. But I think maybe you have to get the insane thing with Fizzing Bolt against the final boss / late game hallway, maybe, compared to Iron Helm. It's, like, weird.
Yeah. Getting a free 13 damage on... I mean, next floor is either Troll King or Tyrantus, and then getting an extra Warlock spell is very good.
I mean, it's not free because you have to spend like 3 burst, kind of.
I mean, we have hack, which is pretty good. We have balance, which is pretty good.
That is true. We have hack
Like,
as well to spend it on.
like we just need to have these. Like, we can just use 3 spells efficiently and then end up with a 13 damage. We don't have to like brute force it.
What I'm hoping for is that we get Witch.
Yeah.
Witch would be really good. She has cleanse. She's got the ability to spam spells for 1 mana.
Yeah. I think we just efficiently cast 3 spells anyways, so.
Yeah.
Range matters in this fight.
Also, I hope Tan fixed this fucking relic.
Hmm.
Because I
Let's
remember it
see.
didn't work at one point.
Alpha, snake, sniper, sniper. Do you give the bow to Warlock just because it does 3 damage and snipers have 3 health?
No, because Brawler exists.
I mean, but Brawler doesn't rampage kill the snipers, is the problem. They have 3 health and not 2.
Yeah, but he has 4 sides that work with it.
Hmm. Oh, right, the shields. God. I keep forgetting that those are damage sides. Like, I see a shield and I think it blocks.
Yeah, and I could just have like balance, and then he kills both of them.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's better than Warlock. Because Warlock, I want to get mana most likely.
That is also true. Like, with the balance, getting the mana is good also. Yeah.
Okay.
Fizzing Bolt on Brawler?
Yeah. And again, Cleric probably. Is there a cleave? Yeah, but it's like minor cleave. It's the only relevant character to put it on though, so yeah. Lol. Maybe it's more relevant on you. Nah, I think blocking for more is more relevant, especially if you're dying that turn.
Yeah,
um,
this is very true.
okay, that's it. Yeah.
Let's see. Snipers have execute. The execute will hit the cleric first. Okay, never mind. I didn't apply.
He just hit. Actually, none of them have execute. They just decided to hit the same one.
Yeah.
You could just smork alpha with some mana if we want to. But, I would like to kill the snipers.
Yeah, if we had the rampage side, that mana would be good because then we could just balance.
Yeah. I mean, it might be good to just hold it. I don't know.
That makes God.
It's like kind of weird.
Like, we're kind of very heavily banking on getting the rampage if we take those 2 dice.
Well, Druid can't do much better than this, probably. Like Sapphire is like kind of bad by itself because it doesn't do balance.
That's fair.
I don't know. It doesn't kill Snake to have it or anything. Yeah, if you get it with like X, maybe, I don't know.
Although 2 mana is just equally efficient because it doesn't do pain.
Yeah, it's like similar. I just roll everything, I guess. None of this does anything.
I mean, like, there is an argument to keep the 4 mana, but that feels like kind of the high roll guess. Oh, yeah, sure. Just hit alpha twice. That's fine. Who cares?
I'm gonna keep this for
I'm
reasons.
also noting that we don't have any mana yet.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed this fact, actually. I don't think we're gonna get mana. I think I'm just gonna kill a snake and have Warlock die, I guess. No, you heal for 2 and then that's it, That's yeah.
Like, if we get if we get a block or a mana side, then Brawler kills a sniper and we're good.
I mean, there is no mana side left. So I guess I have to roll that, yeah. And probably you as well, since no
I
longer
mean, I
relevant.
said a block, or like cleric blocking for 2 makes brawler deal 3 damage.
Yeah, but I have to roll these two as well, because if cleric doesn't roll and rogue doesn't roll, then warlock dies. And having the
Right.
snake die doesn't matter, basically.
True. Yeah.
So we're just
So-
gonna roll these. Okay. The cleanse actually going on brawler is kind of funny.
Right,
Yep.
that isn't a rampage.
Nope. It's just one hit. I mean, I'll try this, but I don't think it's good. I've tried it and it's not good. I can do this, which is simply worse than. It's the same. Brain, my brain is expanding. So yeah, we don't do that. How are you, dear, by the way? How's your night been? Or morning?
Rather cozy.
That's
I haven't
good.
been doing that much yet, but this is a very pleasant way to start the day, honestly.
Aw, well, thank you. Okay, well, this looks like a decent turn.
Yeah. Balance? Just for the rampage value?
There's probably some like slightly better way of doing this turn after that factoid. What if I just start with this and not have full mana, honestly? Is that better? It's probably not better, honestly. Or maybe it is? I don't fucking know. It felt like kind of weird to like do the thing where I try to generate mana with like the arrow. Like it didn't feel important, basically. Let's just have heal for complete safety.
That gives us a burst. I think that's lethal somehow.
It's probably good enough to keep. I mean, it's pretty safe this fight at this point.
And wait, go back. You had
this
lethal
works.
there.
This is also lethal.
Right, true.
Challenge!
Challenge on Tarantus, oh dear.
Actually, the challenge on Tarantus, I think it's usually slates, so we never take that one, ever. Doesn't matter what's offered. It's kind of a meme, the challenges in this game. You like never take them almost.
Stalwart has 2 cleanse sides, I want to point out.
Yeah, I think that's really good. And you take it. And that's what I think of it.
Yeah. Like Assassins, the engage is nice because it kills spiders immediately, but I don't think that does enough here.
And Stalwart, you know, he has the thing where he cheats value with cleaves too pretty well. But yeah, no, we have pretty good ways of generating mana for burst of front, and then we have Druid for range currently. And we have this thing for range currently. I'm not too worried about range, I guess, now, because of Brawler, which is our best thief. So
yeah,
we're just gonna take Stalwart, yeah. Stalwart's pretty premium. Alright. Let's just see what this is. Yep, it's what I thought. We're not taking that.
I was gonna take a moment to assess the items, but I guess not.
No, because like the items we got were just like Blessed Ring and stuff, and the chance of losing this encounter with 2 additional slates is extremely high.
That's fair.
I don't want to even think about it. Like, because like we don't have a way to kill the slates. We just don't.
I just felt for an Overexplained, maybe take a moment to look. Because like an important thing about challenges is that you can actually use the items you're offered in the fight you have the challenge.
Yeah, but it wasn't enough. It was like a ping, honestly. But you're right. I should have at least talked about that a bit. I don't know. Challenges I'm disillusioned by when they're this late in the game normally. When they're
It's
early,
fair.
actually, you can sometimes get away with them, depending on your loadout with items. Sometimes you have something early game that's just like hilariously good because you got like a demon eye on whirl or something. But even then, you could just slow roll and lose or whatever. Is demon eye still in the game?
I would assume so. Might have changed rarity, maybe. It's tier 4, yeah.
It used to be tier 3, right?
Uh, might have been, I'm not sure.
No, I think it was probably tier 4 before.
This is why we need a wiki and update notes.
Yeah, I would agree with this. Double poison.
Hmm.
I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't know. Coin's weird.
Yeah, we definitely did not get the heroes that are good with coin, though we still have 2 more chances to fix that.
Okay, we're not equipping the thing. Bolt's good. Sapphire is still good on you, I think. Man, I mean, the boss is kind of fat, but it's not better than anyone else. So
Bo doesn't
Stalwart,
have never.
it's good to have 3 damage on Stalwart, I think.
Yeah. Bow doesn't have any relevancy here, but sometimes there is worth noting that having the bow means that you don't take spike damage. So in some encounters you might think, oh, it doesn't do anything, but it does actually save you from like recoil and such.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not equipping it here just because there's not even a spiky enemy, but do keep that in mind when there's spiky enemies. Yeah, the hard choice here, I think, is where to put the fucking coin. I'm calling it coin because it used to be a coin in a previous version. Also, there's no range, so I can put this back here.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm doing that, I'm just gonna not put it on rogue, I guess. I didn't
Yeah.
want to anyway. And then Druid with growth side maybe means I put it here. Probably.
Having pain rampage against spiders seems very bad. Can't just have brawler die because you kill 5 spiders in one turn and deals 10 self damage.
Yeah, like even doing 6 damage to yourself is kind of shit still. I would rather not do that.
Yeah. Like, just because Rampage is such a powerful tool in this fight, that's kind of sketchy.
I think we're gonna try to duplicate Druid's thing. And put the book on Brawler, it's fine. Potentially even put it on somebody that like Warlock that but they self-harm as well.
I think Stout is fine.
He's closer to the center. Actually, he's dead center, so the cleave always hits him. That's pretty good.
Wait, this fight does that cleave? I forget.
We have the stalwart.
Oh shit! Right, that cleave.
Yep. That's what I meant. Yeah, this is I think the best possible thing to do for items for this exact fight. Okay, let's hope that it works. This fight can just end your run randomly, especially since we don't have consistent cleanse, which is kind of the name of the game, honestly. A little bit. Although we can just burst this dude potentially, especially with this start. 12 damage, 12 health. After I do this. So that would mean I mean that's 10 pips, right? Yeah. So we're fine. So I want to start with this.
Do you want to do that off proper? Like, if
Yes.
you don't kill spiders this turn, then you have 5 spiders next turn.
I mean, probably true.
Especially with a rampage site on it right now, investing everything into not killing spiders seems kind of unnecessary.
I mean, it's probably still good to do this. Is the thing.
Yeah, like you can, like having mana to like burst spiders to set up rampage if necessary is nice.
Yeah, I think we still do that, at least to keep those. I want to get the cleanse on one of you. None of those are cleanse. So we're gonna roll again.
We're planning to kill the spiders, so the cleanse doesn't matter.
Also, if I get... Oh, that's true, actually, yeah. Guess I kind of just want hack and stuff, and blocking obviously doesn't matter. Okay, well, we can hack if we want to.
Oh.
Which I don't want to, I think.
I mean, it's the same as bursting to be able to rampage here, but... Is there ever a line where you, instead of bursting twice, use the balance twice? You fill it less mana, but you heal everyone for 2.
Yeah, and you do some damage to Tarantus. Sure, why not?
Like the main contention point is that you don't float mana, but I think that's fine for now.
I think 10 value from that's okay. It's like double value, kind of. Not really, but you know, it's close.
We've got a cleanse side and Tarantus is poking, so that's very good.
Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah, like one of the main ways to die in this fight is if you don't get cleanses for the poke attack. That just kills you pretty efficiently.
We have a nice, easy turn here.
Oh, we even have a free spell, though. We could keep it for now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, mostly because we might want to get rid of Smoke Bomb on Rogue first.
Yeah, that's kind of a important thing to consider. Let's try to lower your health a bit while we're at it. Oh God, it might be it's fucking spiders.
I think it's with the free spell. I think it's worth to just roll for Smoke Bomb and try to do like 1 billion damage this turn.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, we're gonna roll this 3 damage sword and heal 1. And Stalwart, can you do anything valuable? Yeah, you can do 3 damage sword.
Oh, that's... Yeah, I guess this is still a fairly fine position to be in.
The Cantrip sword exists, so I'm gonna do this.
True.
The spell would kill Tarantus immediately if needed.
Yeah. Like... Smoke Bomb, please?
Pretty good start.
Yeah. Stalwart is not at risk of dying because you can always kill a spider. One last shot at Smoke Bomb.
Sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Oh my god. Let's blow up the spider. Good turn.
Yeah, pretty easy game in general. My commentary is slowing down a bit. That's just because it's getting kind of late. Also, I feel like the run's self-explanatory a little bit more at this point. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Cleanse Cleave, yes,
So
please.
Stalwart is really good with Glyph of Purity, because Cleanse Cleave. Demon Claw is
Yeah.
hilarious. It's funny. Glyph of Purity.
Yeah.
So this
Now we
helps with the situation of Cleanse a bit. Shockingly, I still don't feel safe. But it helps. It helps a bit.
like rolling that just hard counters the dragon's 3 poison cleave, for example.
These can summon no range dude, right? No spiky? No spiky.
No spiky. Wisp summon bones, not imps.
Yeah. Fun fact about imps.
Yeah.
Alright. So everything stays exactly the same. This loadout is gonna be locked to this right now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking if there's any reason for Rogue to have another 2 damage side for rampage value, but
Another 2 damage side. What?
like the thing is, if Rogue's being attacked, then you have another 2 damage side, which can set up a rampage chain. But I guess it's not enough of a reason.
How do I give Rogue another 2 damage side?
By having the Death Wish on the poison stab.
Oh, nah.
Yeah, I guess just way too narrow, but it was maybe worth a thought.
Yeah, that's fair.
God, the one the one cleave seems the one cleanse seems so much worse now that you have the other cleanses.
Let's just kill like 3 enemies right now.
I can agree with that.
Let's kill 4 enemies. Do you agree with that as well?
Yeah. Let's see. What are the threats here?
Probably these.
Uh, kind of awkward to kill one of the pain enemies and not the other. Wait.
Let's just kill the one attacking Gray. Because killing both the red ones isn't worth it. It just isn't.
Then you can kill a red spider. You can actually kill all spiders by bursting because, yeah, with mana.
Yeah. I think killing all spiders is a pretty good bargain. We like killing spiders in this house. Wow, this is a good cleanse. Mega lol.
Ow.
I'm gonna just try this without thinking about it. Smile. Okay. Now what? It sure would heal a lot and solves the fight probably well enough. And you win the fight. Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Wisps giving mana is actually a very huge deal, and it's easy to forget or underestimate.
Yep. 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 Yep.
So we're offered Mender and Venom here.
Yeah, that's what we've been offered.
I generally like being offered Venom on floor 19 at the very end of the game, so you don't have to like lose your orange side for hallways, but get it for the final boss.
Yeah, Venom is really bad against always. Not really what you're looking for. We also don't really have any other poison, so the triple poison doesn't really go off ever.
Yeah, Venom gets much stronger if you have like a red or a blue with poison 1, because then you can like actually combo them turn 1.
Yep. Mender is pretty strong spell. But it gets rid of the balance, which, you know, kind of important.
Is it that important?
Not really. Not at this point, but it was important-ish. I think the Mender's double mana, double heal is kind of good. Or max HP. These sides definitely look a lot better than Druid's sides.
Mm.
And then the question is, where do you put Pocket Felici? I guess you put it on Stalwart. Yeah. Just put it on Stalwart. Or on Rogue.
Also, one thing is Mender is a pretty good one to put the coin on, and we have no good targets for coin right now.
Yeah, I would agree with this too. But yeah, I think
just having an 8 max HP is a lot of max HP.
Also, I'm happier to do this too because we have the cleanse stalwart guy now. So yeah, like we probably have enough cleanse for late game, I guess, probably. And if not, we could just soothe a couple times and be fine. Soothe basically is like partial cleanse against dragon.
Yeah,
And specifically against Hexia, this is broken as fuck.
Yeah. Like against Hex, like against both of them, if we get it off like twice, we're regen a lot of health, and that's the main issue. Usually having those fights, you lose attrition damage very quickly.
Yeah.
So a lot of poison happening here. We have spiky enemies, so range actually matters again.
Yeah. So here's the thing. There are a bunch of like cleave enemies. Actually, this is AoE. This is never mind. I'm lying. So I would rather have. That's true, but I don't think it's fast enough to be relevant. I guess. I would rather have the pocket on Rogue, even though they're on the far side. I think.
Yeah.
And then range on Brawler.
Yeah, especially with the rampage on imps, not taking that one chip damage every time you kill an imp is very nice.
And the rescue side you don't replace. That's very strong, I think. Zombie, we're gonna have to kill the old-fashioned way, possibly after everyone else is already dead. That's fine by me, honestly. I'm not very concerned. Also, Warlock could just cheat and kill it.
True. Yeah, I think this looks good enough.
How did my brightness go up on my computer randomly? Anyway, Fizzing Bolt on Warlock. Because he's on the far side and actually, both of these. He's unlikely to die. I mean, maybe I should have at least... I should distribute them. For safety.
Yeah, I would move the book somewhere else, but the thing is, if Warlock dies, then the value from Fizzing Bolt that goes down a lot anyways, because we don't have the...
I'll do this. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I'll do this. And I want the big block over Seedling, I think. So I'll do this. Okay. So this is 9 health. Stun is like okay.
I can hit a zombie currently, which blocks for 6. 6 is an okay amount. It's not 6 necessary block because it blocks rogue, but...
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm not entirely sure.
It's very okay.
I'm gonna keep it for now because like our rolls are shit, basically.
Yeah, I can agree.
Okay, this is much better. So what do I think of this? This is
3 damage lets you stun a spawn, which is a pretty huge deal.
Stun 3 damage? What? Oh,
I mean, yeah, because they have 12 and Brawler has 9.
I see what you mean.
Can Rogue do anything better than Pain Bow?
I think the rampage hit here is very good. Again,
This is not that much. Like a smoke bomb is actually very solid, but
like we save 8 health if we have a rampage here versus 6 from spawn. Kind of. I mean, you can already kind of kill both doing that. But yeah, but if I dump these two and then stun, I can kill an imp with the mana and the bow. Maybe that's good enough. Just stun this, kill an imp. And then the only person that's still low is like Rogue.
yeah,
Actually, very low. Cause,
yeah, the pain makes that rather awkward.
I mean, you still live, it's just really low. Yeah, that's really weird. Maybe just stun zombie anyway, and then... No, this is weird.
Does Stalwart roll, perhaps?
That's what I was kind of wondering too. But if we do that, obviously the brawler stuns makes less sense, kind of too. It still stuns zombie is the thing.
Yeah, I think if we leave the line to stun zombie, then I think it's fine to roll Stalwart here.
It's just like rampage is way better, and you can roll stun. The steel sides are the bad thing. The X is not bad because hack is like fine. Hack is like the same as getting rampage. You just don't kill the other one.
I mean, if you get hack, you just kill zombie, I think.
Oh, right. Right. So that's good. So there's 4 good outcomes and 2 really bad outcomes. Except the stun outcome, that's kind of like a delay thing, which is not amazing. But it's, you know. God, this sucks. I hate these choices like of probability. They're so weird. We probably meant to keep the stun. It's like pretty safe.
Yeah.
Just feels bad. And then you probably roll stalwart, and then you just like stun zombie. You kill this imp. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Mender's on a very good side because you can build mana up.
Yeah, we need it for hack anyways. No, we're not rolling brawlers, so.
This is still best to keep mana, I think. Okay. So now we're gonna kill this imp.
Yeah, what was the imp attacking?
It killed the yellow imp.
Oh, right. I just for a moment I thought it was attacking a rogue, but of course the rogue was taking no damage because zombie is stunned.
Yeah. Okay, that was a pretty good turn. Everyone's at a pretty decent health. And we neutralize a threat, I guess.
Leave cleanse, please.
Never heard of it. I'd rather roll here. There's so many good rolls right now.
Yeah, like rescue would be insane.
Oh, this is insane. Potentially a rescue. No, not exactly.
It lets you do the regen heal, which is okay.
That's true.
Especially with if you miss the cleanse, then getting that heal regen in is pretty strong.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, probably meant to take this for imp down there. This warlock. Maybe this is what we re-roll. Again, hack exists at worst. I'm gonna re-roll this because I want the fucking thing, and all this is so bad. Okay. So now we have, like... I think the 6 block, everything on Stalwart except perhaps the 3 sword is good to roll here.
Yeah.
3 sword, what does 3 sword do? Just kills this imp for us. It's most likely what it does. Which would save Rogue kind of excessively. Can we just like kill spawn? If we get a 3 sword, it would be like 5 damage and then we're 7 off and then...
We can kill spawn with 6 mana, but...
Oh yeah, wait, that's totally fine then, because that's 2 plus 3. No, that just does... Oh wait, yeah, it does 13. Yeah, that's totally fine then. And then if we get hacked, then we do like another 4 damage or something.
How many spells have we cast so far? It's actually worth noting that instead of using the Warlock spell, we can use 3 2-mana spells and then the Warlock for free afterwards.
We have not done a single spell this combat.
Yeah,
well, we could easily do it this turn. Like we could just Yeah,
just use 3 bursts and then Warlock for free.
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna keep all this and be pretty safe. I still want to roll this because I think all the sides here are good. Even the 3 attack one is good.
Like we have a 2 in 3 chance of a cleanse, so...
Okay.
Wow, Stalwart absolutely useless currently.
Yeah, I mean, he was like, oh, if I'll be good with that, then I'll do it. No, dumb.
Right there.
We don't have to do that. We can just heal like Brawler, probably. And then do this. And that. Oh, why are you dying?
Why is who dying?
Mender. Was Mender always dying? I like somehow missed that.
You can burst Mender, and that's fine.
Nah, I just healed Mender with her own thing. That should work too, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, I can hack the zombie. No, I can't. Yes, I can.
Yes, you can.
Okay, so this should, in theory, work, I think. Okay, it did.
Wow. That wasn't a very interesting turn.
Yeah, this is a really jank composition of characters we have assembled today. Okay, this is funny.
We like that.
Yeah, we like funny.
You can't even use the pain side for that. Nice. Stalwart? Oh my god, Stalwart has yet to hit the cleanse cleave.
So yeah, you do this, and then you do this, and then you do this. Value.
And then you no, that's what... Yeah, we just kill her.
These are level 8 items. Flank stats become +3 mana.
That's insane with Warlock, just gonna say that.
Seems pretty consistently alright. Yeah.
I think this makes Warlock a very strong character.
Yeah, I would agree with this assessment of what it does to Warlock. This is the easy hallway, lol.
Rampage is here. Yeah, definitely want to arrange that Rampage this time around.
Yep, so we'll keep it right where it is.
Oh my god. That's kind of insane.
So yeah, that seems like an okay combo. But yeah, you can see kind of hopefully what I mean by like spending time in item screams if you're still here after 3 hours of watching this. This is what the game's about to me. It's this kind of stuff right here with this Warlock, for instance, and the Stalwart and whatnot. See how I transformed my comp to deal with zombies and ranged enemies over time and stuff? That's what it's all about for me. Anyway, I'll get off my high horse. Mender tends to be alive. I think Mender's really important. But then again, like, Stalwart blocks himself, and yeah. Yeah, I think I'll keep Stalwart with the Fizzing Bolt, or actually the book. Yeah. This is good, I think. Would you agree?
I can agree with that. Yeah.
I wonder if the sapling is good on Stalwart, like a weird contention point.
With this many enemies, there's a good chance that someone gets stacked for like 1,000,000,000 damage, is the thing.
Yeah, it's really weird, but I think generally speaking, this is still slightly better. But I don't think it's better by that much.
Yeah. Like, one of the scariest things with 8 enemy holes is that suddenly half of them can decide to target one hero, and then you're just like, wow, you're taking 20 damage.
Wow, only one poison this turn. Kind of weird. Kind of weird, champ.
The rescue heal seems okay. It lets you keep the mana.
It's fine. 6 value, kind of. Not really. It's more like 5 value.
It's more because you can keep the pain mana here, and then just rescue Warlock as well.
Oh, I see. Good idea.
That is what we like to call value.
This is 6 block and gets rid of a poison, which is the same as 6 block, but you know.
I think that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have any complaints about that. Let's get better things here, maybe. Like, I don't know, Rampage, maybe? Like,
God, Rampage would be nice.
I'll take a hack.
There we go.
Okay.
Let's see. We can burst 4 times in this turn, and then Rampage a lot of things, if we wanted to.
If we wanted to, yes. Probably meant to. Actually, I want to block U3. Is that true? Yeah, no. U3 and then heal Warlock.
Yeah. Although we maybe block after dealing 1,000,000,000 damage to enemies.
Also, we want to cleanse the rogue, so I actually want to do this and not kill the spider necessarily.
Yeah, that would kind of just kill the things that target red and blue, and we're fine.
Okay, so yeah, good idea. So we have a lot of mana to work with.
Yeah, we can get the free spell, so we can kill 4 enemies this turn.
This seems better than the regen thing, probably.
Mm.
And then Brawler is the next threat. How do we kill 3? Oh, because the free spell.
Yes.
Funny.
Doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a difference if you use the Warlock spell or the Burst here, but
the Warlock spell is funnier.
it makes Warlock say a funny voice line, so.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot that was a thing. Alright.
Orange seems a good target, yeah.
Actually, red? Actually... you're right, it's orange, I think.
Yeah, the orange 4, yeah. Burn!
Burn!
Wow.
Good fight.
Ooh.
I like the part where heal cheats efficiency over and over and over.
This is almost lethal. Now it's lethal.
Probably lethal, yeah. Alright, let's start with cleansing, because... lol. Hold on. Just do this. Are you sure? Oh, yeah. It's
First.
Okay, Ludus or
Final
Dancer?
boss.
I need to tick Dancer 3 times to get an item. It's very important.
The problem is where unless you could put ranged on the Dancer actually, just to like be able to do the pain side repeatedly here.
That's
Because
interesting.
right now if you push the Dancer button, you take 6 damage because there's 4 imps on Hexia.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Dancer's just not better than Ludus, I think, probably.
Probably, yeah.
What are my items for Ludus? Do I have range sides for Ludus? That's kind of okay, I guess. But it's probably better
It's
on
better on
Brawler.
Brawler, yeah.
Is there anything I have for Ludus? Like anything at all?
Not really.
No, they don't even have blink sides, dude. Imagine, you know what would have been insane here? It would be like the tier 3 sharp shot. That would have been insane because of Fairy Pack. Yeah, I would have just given Fairy Pact and the coin to Rogue if that was what I got. But instead I got these two, which don't really work with what I have at all in the slightest.
Ludus has a 50% chance to just straight up kill an imp, but Ludus has 6 max health, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is kind of a big deal. Also, it doesn't really work against Hexia. But Nido's Dancer.
This is one of those. God, this is actually very awkward.
Yeah, it's super awkward. It's just gonna basically be like Sapphire character again. Just the character with a Sapphire. They're gonna be their goal.
The max health on Dancer doesn't even really matter because it just loses all of it to the cantrips anyways. So I think it's just Ludus.
The max self on that. Oh.
Like Dancer has 3 more health, but it is
No, but
consideration.
No, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Because Dancer kind of just like keeps doing self damage every single roll because it's just imps and Hexia.
Yeah, and the Rampage side doesn't get buffed or anything. It's just Ludus because Ludus has more damage and
Ludus
like,
just
okay.
deletes imps occasionally.
Yeah. Alright, well, Seedling is still dead. Sapphire, I mean...
I honestly think it is, yeah.
Yeah, I actually... It is. And the reason, like, I want to emphasize, it's because, like, you know, self-damage, right? So this is basically a pain side for 5. So, like, I'd rather have it just be an unconditional 2 mana for the flexibility of the spells that are so strong that we've seen. Like the one that will kill Hexia without doing anything, basically, to ourselves. And, yeah. Flexibility of bursting, flexibility of having regen. It's very good.
Yeah, like especially with a regen spell that's like Hexia is a fairly slow enemy, so just putting up regen twice, you just win the fight, probably.
This is a little awkward, actually, the pocket thing.
I think we actually are in a situation where we skip on it.
This is, like, almost okay.
Because if Ludus uses the 6 damage once, then it breaks even. And sometimes we'll just don't use the 6 damage side.
I mean, that's okay if it breaks even. It's sort of like never having it in the first place.
You do lose health then when you use the mana side, but I guess that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I would prefer to have this. Like, if I start with the mana side, it's strictly better to have this item. And if I start with the sword, it's like I didn't even add the item.
True. Except it then keeps pain on the mana for later turns, but...
I could also just put it on Stalwart, but then his shield side's actually garbage is the issue.
Yeah.
So I think it's really on Ludus. I know it looks really dumb, but I still think it's on Ludus. We want this is Hexia. So we're gonna want the cleanse machine to be alive a while, so probably a hex on you, and Fizzing Bolt runs out, obviously. Yeah, this is the final loadout. This is everything we want.
Yes. So we have a summon, poison.
What if we just hit Hexia really hard?
I think you'd rather just want to kill an imp with that instead.
Wah. We can instantly kill Ludus immediately, right now.
Honestly, I think you roll because you can hit the 4.
Yeah, I think
damage.
hitting a 4, like there's like 4 different outcomes that are pretty good there. I don't think we want these sides probably, especially since this is happening. Probably no, because we could kill you. No, but like I don't think the steel shell is good because it's pretty good,
Like
honestly.
it blocks Brawler for 4, 5 actually because of Spiker, and then kills an imp.
Yeah, it's like honestly pretty good.
Yeah, I think just body slamming the imp that poisons is pretty nice.
Mender for 4 with no mana. We can probably do better.
It's okay, but like all the sides are okay.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Let's just try for greed. I want mana side. And then mana probably. Or the blood. Mana.
Bloodlust won't do that much this turn. So
Uh
I mean, Warlock's perfectly fine after you body slam the poison imp to hell.
let's just do this for the heal as well. Okay. That's what you wanted. Ludus doing the self-harm mana.
We could just regen this turn, honestly, with that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's just do that, honestly. I'm not really interested in killing the imps that quickly, if that's the case. Anyway, big shield, big slam into probably this imp.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna summon more imps, but
I mean, once we get our regen up, we're considerably stronger than when we started the fight.
yeah. I'm actually gonna hit this imp because the bone's gonna kill that imp.
Oh, that's actually a very good point.
It's kind of a big brain, but yeah. But yeah, the thing about regens too, yeah, is they're so strong against the last boss. Not really anywhere else, but here they're pretty goddamn strong. Okay, that's not true. They're pretty good against certain enemies like the Slate and what, or not Slate. What's his name? Spiky, Spiker.
Sure.
It's worth a try. Smile. Cleanse is good. Blocks for 4. The issue is that I can't. I guess I could kill the boner. Yeah, this is actually fine. I just want Brawler to do something, maybe?
Max HP is acceptable here.
I thought so as well. Like, I could have gone for a hack, maybe, but I still think that this was better.
Yeah.
Because I could have, quote-unquote, rolled and got a heal there instead.
So if you burst twice, then you can Warlock spell for free.
Sure. So yeah, look, that bone thing I said was relevant. Now we're gonna do this. Well, you were gonna get pained by Hexia. And then we can kill this imp that's gonna summon. And then kill. Probably just do damage to Hexia.
Yeah.
I actually think that the imp that's doing damage to Warlock is more relevant, probably, to attack with the burst.
Is it really worth getting a bone for that? Like, Warlock has plenty health and regen, so... Like Warlock is actually only taking 3 because of the regen.
Yeah, I guess with the regen, actually, it tips it over. I was thinking that the rampage stuff made it pretty cheap to kill minions. Like, enemy health wasn't that expensive, I guess, to spend resources on. But because of the regen, I think you're right. So yeah, we just kill the boner.
First at first.
Yeah, of course. And then we'll just hit this imp here. And, right there.
Max HP Brawler does matter some because of stun.
Just get that every turn, I guess. Ludus is literally just a Sapphire.
Just lose 2 health, get 2 mana every single turn.
Yeah. I can go ahead and rampage a lot here. I would like to... Do I just win?
You just regen again.
I mean, I can just blaze and
true,
and then win the fight. I guess. So yeah, I guess I win. I don't know. Very funny.
Nice shot.
Yeah, nice shot, loser.
Nice shot with your sword gun.
So anyway, I hope this puts some insight into what I think of the game, you know? But yeah, as you can see, I don't exactly spend a year on every decision, but the ones I do, I feel are the most impactful, kinda, sort of by design, and how I do that.
And there's a lot of decisions in this game you don't actually realize are decisions until you sit down and actually think about the specific details.
Yeah. Yeah, like the decision to take a hero because it affects a later hero, or like to take an item anticipating a certain hero, or things like that are kind of like the weird contention decisions, I think. But yeah, we're at a win streak of 6 now. So that was kind of cool. You want me to push the button?
The submit high score button.
Just let people know that I'm still playing the game, yeah. Alright. I should sleep, but take care, everyone, alright?
Yeah, that was a good run. There was a lot of good things to discuss there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I should upload this first, though, and ping, and then I'll do that.
Okay.
Shouldn't take long. The upload might, but I'll just set up the upload, basically. But yeah. Thank you for joining me, Azu. It was really good.
Yeah, it was fun being here.
Alright. Take care.